Greenwood's already up 14-0.
It was see, Texas said, hey, you Northside?
Yes.
I'm sitting right down here.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all right.
And an alumni
Unfortunately, the
of
speaker is right
Northside
above
High
my
School.
head, so I can't hear you.
He went on to play football for the
Good game.
Well, a very pleasant good evening. We're here at Mayo Thompson Stadium. Been quite a night so far. Seen a lot of dignitaries come out. We got to see some fireworks, a great American flag, a great job by the dual choirs tonight with Northside and Southside. Just about ready for some football here as Southside will take on Northside in the Battle of Rogers Avenue tonight here at Mayo Thompson Stadium. Open our 2024 football season for the Southside Mavericks. I'm Keith Evans along with my co-host Terrell King, and we're bringing in this year Hall of Fame coach Doug Pogue to help us with the broadcast tonight. And gentlemen, it's a interesting year in the fact that Southside's going to have a lot of new starters this year, and the fact that we're going to a different conference.
A lot of new faces out there, but I think if I was counting right, I think we're going to have about 11 guys coming back. So we'll kind of see how those guys lead the pack.
And Coach Pogue, you were talking to me on the phone the other night. We were talking about this Southside team has a very solid junior class coming in, and not a lot of sophomores and seniors, but a good junior class.
Well, the first year my first year at Southside, the senior bunch that are there this year, they lost quite a few of them. There's only probably maybe 11 to 15 kids that are still out. But the junior class is a solid class. That's who they're going to depend a lot of because the quarterback's a junior, and then they have their receivers are junior, and a lot of their defense will be mainly junior.
And guys, yeah, it kind of reminds me too. If you go back to the class last year, the Gregorys, the Tuckers, the Kobe Branhams, John Parkinsons, those guys all started as sophomores. And
That's it.
They took their lumps, but they were really good by it. Their last year had really a chance to beat the state champion Fayetteville in the semifinals of the playoff, and had a pretty good opportunity right there. But you kind of look at this year's team. I was able to see a little bit of a scrimmage of this team against Alma, and you want to look at each side of the ball. First, we'll start with the defense. You've got Dominic Parkinson along with I think Ethan Dunn. I thought was a good player. You've got probably a good set of safeties as you're going to see in the state, and Joe Kincannon and Peyton Zimmerman, but. Just watching the defense, it's going to be key for these guys is to tackle in the open field. And you get a team second, third and long, you got to get off the field.
Yeah, that's one of my big keys for the game today is, what's that defense going to look like? Are we going to be able to stop that Northside running game? I think that's going to be a big key tonight.
Well, I think a lot of it on the Southside part of it, they don't have the team speed as they've had in the particularly last year. So that's playing Northside. That's going to be a big deal about them taking correct angles and tackling. That's going to be huge.
You look at the offensive side for the Mavs. I was very impressed with his ball game, and actually when he did some mop-up duty last year, Blake Forsgren, I think, is going to be a very good quarterback these next 2 years for the Mavericks.
Yeah, Blake played for me as a ninth grader, and he's pretty good. He's got a good arm. And, he came from Trinity, so I didn't coach him in junior high, but he's a great kid. And I coached his dad and his uncles. And so, I've known the Forsgren family for a long time, and he's going to be – I think he's going to be special.
Southside may have better receivers this year than last year. You've got Wilson Key, and they're going to have Joe Kincannon, along with Peyton Zimmerman. I'll tell you what, guys, I was watching Peyton Zimmerman in the scrimmage. This young man's got a chance to have a big season.
He's got some really good hands. I think the other guys you're going to see out there playing some slot are some of the guys that we're kind of used to seeing playing running back out there. So kind of see how those hands came along in the last couple seasons.
Peyton played both ways for us. He, probably played some inside receiver. And he also started out at quarterback also, but he was behind Blake. But he's a special young man. I've got to know him and Joseph both, and they're both going to be on both sides of the ball a little bit. And it's you're going to have to take your best athletes to be able to sometimes be able to compete. And I know that puts a little strain on playing both ways, but they're going to have to do it to be able to compete in their conference.
That kind of seemed too, just watching the scrimmage, they were getting a little bit of a break on defense, and on the offensive side of the ball, they were out there pretty much the whole time. But I look at kind of the X factor on this team too. Jaden Webb, he's one, they've worked him at slot receiver.
Yep.
He's played some at tailback, and you know they've got a tough act to follow. You got him, you got
Yes,
Joaquin
sir.
Fox, I think, and Terrell, you were telling me this that he's actually grown some and gotten bigger.
Yeah, I've heard everywhere from 20 to 40 extra pounds in the legs, so I'm kind of anxious to see. I mean, you know, he was pretty quick before, but you know now, I mean, if he's got that extra weight in those legs, man, he ought to be able to plant and go.
They're going to be a little different than having Tucker and Gregory there, because they're going to be more, as far as their running game, is going to be probably more downhill, because Jaden Webb, he packs a load when he runs.
Yeah,
he was our best athlete as a ninth grader, and he's the best athlete in the senior class.
Yeah, he'll be a good mix too, though. You got Webb sometimes, and then putting Fox in there, I think would be a nice, possibly 1-2 combo for the Mavs. And here you kind of look at this Northside team. I know that they've got high expectations this year, and Coach Curry's got that team ready to play. And you know, look at their roster. I know that they really hate losing the quarterback, McLean Moody. That young man, guys. I'll tell you what. Watching Moody play last year, I would have said he'd been probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in 7A.
For sure.
I agree with you.
That was actually one of my guys that played quarterback for me back in the day, so I miss him. I was hoping to see him out here today.
He played for us at Chaffin as an 8th grader, him and Cam, and they're I don't know, I get such a, you know, with all those kids that go on to either go to Northside and Southside, I still follow them, and
Sure.
they're special to me, and especially, you know, with them being over here, I wish them well, but tonight I hope they're on the other end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you talk about Cam Massey. He may be one of the top receivers in 7A this year, no doubt. And had an older brother, I believe, was a running back for Northside at one time.
Yeah, Ty.
Pretty good family history right there. And
Correct.
just about ready for some football. It's been interesting, guys. I'll tell you what, Coach Beaumont's done a great job here. Really had several things going on, and we got to hear some political speeches.
Yeah.
And some different things going on, and you know, it's just it's a spectacle. And Doug, you know this well too. Northside, Southside, there's nothing like it.
No. I remember I was telling you earlier, we were one of the first teams to, I guess my senior year, which was Coach Rowland's first year at Southside, we played Northside twice. We played them the second game of the season and the last game, and we improved a bunch from the first to last, even though we lost both games. But it's a little different. It's a little different when you come and play each other. It's I mean, you can just really throw any record out, and you know, I wish it was still played the last game of the season.
Me too.
Yes.
But it is what it is.
Got to do what you got to do. Boy, you get on that sugar high right off the bat when you have to go against them, and then you know, then kind of reset yourself to get into the rest of your non-conference schedule plus your conference schedule. But Northside about to come out here. Now, guys, I got to laugh, though, because they do this at Southside, too. They turn the lights out, and I'm always thinking, remember the old days when you turn those lights out? They ain't coming back on.
No, not for 15 minutes.
No.
It's Northside coming down the field, Southside already on the field, just about ready for some football here. And the one thing I do miss about Northside coming out here, they used to play, I think it was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, and they don't do that anymore. And, you know, kind of miss that little bit of it. But
Need to work on bringing that back.
But you got to look at the numbers, guys. Really, both teams, numbers-wise, neither team is really that big. You look at this Northside group, what do you say, guys, 50 players maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking right about 55.
Well, I know they've lost quite a few during the summer. You know, and Coach Curry does a good job. I played a little bit of golf with him, and know most of the coaches on the staff pretty well, and you know, just a good group of guys. And I like I say, I root for them unless they play Southside, and so you know, it's.
Yeah, we kind of know all these guys. You know, Richard Bracken, you remember the career he had at Southside, and you know what a good receiver he was for the. I get in trouble when I say this. I would say the Mavs, but he was actually a Rebel.
Yeah. Well, so was I.
Yeah, we got that one time. I think it was Slick Shelley. We mentioned him being a Maverick, and somebody got us on Twitter and said we were wrong on that, so we apologize.
You got to be politically correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's going. One thing I have noticed, it's going to be a little hard to see those Northside numbers tonight.
Hernandez, the kickoff
You know, Rodrigo Hernandez will kick off for the Mavs. That's one area, too, that me and Terrell were talking about before the game, Doug, was I think one player, you look at all the good players that Southside had last year, kind of one of the unsung players was Grayson York last year.
Gosh.
Everything that young man did.
Yeah. Yeah, Grayson played for me too. So most of these kids I've had either coached them or been around them a lot. So it's fun to watch them go and extend their careers. Grayson, I think he's playing soccer up in in Kansas or somewhere up there. And
here's a kickoff, going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. Going to run it back, and they're going to hit him at the 20-yard line and get him down right there. Leading the charge for Southside is, I believe that's Joseph Kincannon along with Aiden Johnson. Now, they get this old guys up here when they we talk about Southside, they wear those black jerseys and everything. You can't read those numbers. And probably the worst ones I ever saw was probably Bentonville. They had the numbers, and they were kind of just outlined in gold on the uniforms. You cannot read those at all. They'll start Dorian Bowers at quarterback. In the backfield will be Jaleel Coven. Going to swing pass out.
Little screen.
Going to get him out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Nice pursuit by the Southside defense as Joe Kincannon comes up. They'll give Coven 5 yards.
They're going to do everything they can to get out on the edge because they're going to, when you're an athlete, use their speed. And those swing passes are just like an extended handoff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Second down, 2nd and 6. Here's a handoff on the outside to Coven. Cuts it back inside, and there's Kincannon again. We'll get him down as he gets the first down across the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line.
Looked like Huggins getting in on that one, too.
Yeah. Well, that's not Huggins anymore, I don't think.
Johnson on the stop. It'll be 1st and 10 Northside.
Oh, 39 Huggins.
Yeah.
You're right.
Of course, you also got Dwight Johnson out there, and Johnson started as a sophomore last year for the Mavs. Hand off to Coven again. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and pulled down and will fall forward, maybe for about a yard.
That's Peyton Perez that made the tackle there. They've been waiting for 3 years for him to get that, for his light to come on for him because he's got a lot of ability. He moves well and he's strong.
Yeah, he's got a big job ahead of him. You had 2 really good ones last year in Reeder and Parkinson. Want to throw the ball here, they'll get the ball out in space, and Southside does a good job. And, guys, that's what I was talking about right there. Southside needs to cover in space, and there's Kincannon again on the play.
Kincannon on the stop.
Joseph is special.
Yeah, he is.
The 38-yard line.
Great kid, too.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's one of the strengths of the Southside team is going to be those safeties, Zimmerman along with Kincannon. See what Northside wants to do here, 3rd and 3. Again, they'll have one back in the backfield. That's Coven. They'll hand the ball to Coven, who's got an open field, and it's going to be a foot race to the end zone. He's at the 35-30. Going to take it to the house for the touchdown.
Speed. Yeah, they saw there was nobody in the middle of the field. Southside, they had doubles on each side, stacked, and they just ran the inside zone, and there was no one there.
Nobody home.
That's going to be a key for Southside, guys. We saw that in the Alma scrimmage. They gave up the big plays. You can't do that. See what Northside wants to do here.
Yeah,
Now, Doug, I'm going to ask you about this here in a second. I'm just curious. I'll tell you what, folks, it's hard to see some of these numbers of the kicker. Your holder is Drew Jackson. Ball is down. Your kick is up. Kick is good.
Number 20, Jalen Chavez's extra point is up and good. And with 10:19 remaining in the first quarter, it's your Northside Grizzlies 7, the Southside Mavericks 0.
Guys, that's going to be the key, though. Like I said, you can't allow the big plays. You're going to have to tackle in space. But give credit, too, to Northside. They did a nice job on that right side, opening that hole up for Coven to take it to the house.
Correct. it was just a simple zone read, but heck, when you look up and you got the coaches here and they're looking to see at Southside how they lined up, and they can they saw that middle wide open, and once he broke the line of scrimmage, there was nobody there. So
That's Max Chavez will kick off for Northside. You got Peyton Zimmerman back deep for the Mavs. I believe that may be Joe Kincannon. I can't get the number, guys. It's still early for us, too. Yeah, Max Chavez will kick off.
it is Joseph, number 19.
Kincannon along with Zimmerman back deep. And here's the kick, and goes out of bounds, but I think we're having offsides. Okay, I got to ask this question now. I've been told that I have to watch myself because I got an official up here too, so I've got to watch what I say. How many times do you actually think somebody jumps off sides on a kickoff and it's not called?
A lot.
Okay. So why are they kicking off from the 40?
I have no idea.
Was the ball not put in play yet? Chavez will kick off.
Maybe not.
That's a dangerous play, too. Kincannon went to the sideline to catch that, and you definitely don't want to catch that thing on the sideline.
No.
Here's a kick again, and it's going to go into the end zone, be a touchback. Southside will start their first drive on their 20-yard line. Again, they trail 7-zip here early. A big 62-yard touchdown run for Northside by Jaleel Coven. See what Southside wants to do here. And, guys, what I was impressed, and you'll notice this as the game goes on, is Forsgren really seems to handle himself, whether he's in the pocket, he looks comfortable. When he rolls out of the pocket away from pressure, he seems to have a general awareness of what's going on around him.
He has really developed over the last couple of years, and that is one of the – oh, gosh, got a block.
Number 5, Forsgren's pass complete. It's a loss on the play.
You know, Northside's corners are, you know, they probably do not respect Southside's speed on the edge, and they're going to play, you know, a lot of times zero coverage, which is man, and just get right up there on them and jam them at the line of scrimmage. So stuff like that is going to be very difficult to.
Here's a handoff to Webb up the middle, makes a nice run, and we'll get close to a first down.
What we need right there.
Funny story about Jaden. Jaden played a little bit of quarterback, a little bit of running back as a ninth grader when our first year when they made the transition to the ninth grade. The last game of the season we played Northside, and he carried the ball 33 times from the quarterback position, nothing but quarterback power.
Well, that's what I was talking to Keith about actually a couple of days ago is, man, Jaden would be a good one to do that old wildcat snap too and just let him go, man.
That's correct.
Let him go downhill.
Hey, you don't hit him high, I can tell you that.
No, sir.
He got about 4 more yards on the play. Here's a handoff again, and a good job by the right side of the offensive line to get the first down for the Mavs. Ball's on the ground, but he should be down. Actually, Southside picked it up. Guys, how important is it for Southside giving up that quick touchdown to answer here?
Oh. Huge as far as confidence is concerned. They just got to put it together. They just got to keep Northside's offense off the field.
Exactly.
Forsgren wants to pass. We'll throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete. Intended over there for Peyton Zimmerman.
Max Chavez in coverage.
He's probably a little amped up.
Yeah.
Ball a little high.
He throws a rocket.
Second down.
Yeah, I think Zimmerman's going to be a key tonight, guys, to get him going. He seems to, once he gets in space, he does a good job of getting those extra yards. Northside jumped in the neutral zone.
You see how the cornerback, particularly this one's over here in single coverage, he's right up there on him. and he's playing. It's just zero, and he's going to jam him at the line. It makes it tough to throw, some of those, the slants or.
After the penalty, it's 2nd and 5. Ball spot.
Any kind of timing route.
Is that a confidence thing, a speed thing, thinking that I can outrun this guy?
Yes.
I remember seeing that last year against Heritage. I think it was Jackson Davis, and you could see that coming. Here's a keeper by Forsgren. A little slow in developing.
Keeper brought down in the backfield.
That was Lucas Calderera on the play for
Lucas Calderera on the
Northside. Saw him last year, guys. Good ball player.
He's a real good ball player. I think he ended up breaking his thumb or something.
Yeah, good baseball player, too.
Yes, he is.
Big third down here for the Mavs. This will be the 6th play of the opening drive for Southside. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Mavs do a little substituting here. Still got plenty of time on the play clock. Have one back in the backfield. That's Joaquin Fox in the backfield. As far as going to take a snap, although the ball's got time, those are going to be complete. That's Wilson Key on the catch for the 1st down.
Number 4, Key on the reception.
Guys, that was a nice play. Just go to a spot, turn around, and the ball's waiting on you. Good timing.
Amazing coverage for Northside. It will be 1st and 10 Mavericks.
If you've got a Key on the team, guys, he's got to be a pretty smart football player.
Right. Wilson's a very smart football player. He's got his dad's genes in that area because his dad, he's the offensive coordinator and
Nice keeper here for Southside with Forsgren.
Forsgren on the keeper.
Guys, I got to ask you all this. We saw the play earlier where they were able to stuff it on the fake handoff on Forsgren. That time looked like he just a quick fake and a go, just hit the spot.
I don't know. Sometimes it could be on that one. I think it was just quarterback counter, and it was just a design play. I think the other one was a read play, and he didn't. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
He'll keep it again, and let's see. He's going to be close to the 1st down.
That was a read play.
Hitting the line of scrimmage by Calderera.
It's Calderera again on the play.
3rd down.
It's going to be close. Hey, I got to tell you, too, Doug, you talk about officiating. Dalton Person used to come up here and help us do games, and I think it's his father-in-law did the Change Forever, and it used to drive him crazy doing that, watching, man, they never measure anything.
No, hey, listen, I've learned a little bit about the fish. They're going to put it as close to a yard marker as possible. So they do not have to measure because on the turf fields, they're –
Second Webb has the 1st down.
On turf fields, you just you find the closest yard marker and you put it on it. And as a coach, I'm going, Lee, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Your problem was when you coached at Chaffin and you saw Evans doing those chains, you knew you might be in trouble.
That's probably true. But see where that ball marked as close to that line as possible. He didn't. I don't think he got to that line, but anyway, that's where they marked it.
The 1st and 10 for the Mavs. This will be the 10th play of the opening drive. Here's a keeper again. No, that's Jaden Webb will get inside the 20-yard line. There's Chavez making the play. Max Chavez on the tackle. Tell you, this line doing a good job, guys.
And the line is young because they lost everybody. See, Nick Arnold's is the only returning starter back because he started as a sophomore last year, and I think Eckelhoff is their center.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was 64 down there.
If you guys can get the names, let's make sure we give these guys a shout out. There's a handoff again, and going to try to fight forward is Webb. Going to lose maybe half a yard.
He's on the line. Gave him forward progress.
By Calderera. And number 33, Hunter Hansen.
It's Calderera again on the play along with Hunter Hansen. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. Good opening drive for Southside. Northside scored on their opening drive, go 80 yards in 6 plays. Key guys, though, if you can run these plays, they score quick. We take our time. On a hot night, it's going to wear these guys down.
Absolutely.
Forsgren looks to throw here. He's got time. Although the ball's going to be, throws it behind his intended receiver. That's Wilson Key at the 10-yard line.
last year where they had Grayson, he was, anytime he was probably inside the 45-yard line, he was pretty good as far as kicking field goes. They got Rodrigo Hernandez. He kicks for them, but he doesn't have near the leg that Grayson had. And so I don't know if they do not make it here, they'll probably go for it.
I would think they probably would. Doug, you'll probably remember this too. Remember a few years ago, I don't think we even hardly had a kicker, and he made an extra point one time, and I think the place went nuts. Forrest's going to have all day, thought the ball's going to be complete, and he's going to be short of the first down. That is Zimmerman.
He's about a half yard short.
Yeah, Abram Dotson made a nice
Pass completed for 58 yards.
We on the,
Well, Doug, to your point exactly right there is they're just playing off, and Cam Massey made them pay for that.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, poor tackling there. You know, he tried to kind of force him out of bounds, push him out of bounds, but you know, Cam's probably one of the fastest kids in the state, and
Yeah, they score quick. That's only a
Number 20, Jalen
4 plays,
the extra point.
78 yards. I'll tell you what it reminds me of, guys, and Terrell, you'll know this well. Remember last year they were, as Chavez makes the extra point, played Bentonville last year, and they were going to run that tunnel screen with C.J. Brown that's playing for the Razorbacks now, and he was going to cut it back to the inside like you're supposed to, and he looked up, he went outside, and nobody touched him.
Didn't even get close, really.
Former number 1 was going to be a factor in the ball game, and we saw it right there with Cam Massey, a 57-yard touchdown, and pretty much, 57 yards, but he did that with his feet, guys.
all right, I would get him the ball as much as possible.
84 is here celebrating their class reunion.
And guys, your frustrating thing about this game right now, and we don't have it, but you look at time of possession, Southside's probably had 9 minutes of the ball game so far of the 14 or 13 play right now, but Northside scored quick.
Well, that's the old saying, speed kills, and that's exactly what Northside has done to Southside, because they have used their speed to get 2 long touchdown runs.
Yeah, exactly. 2 big, long touchdown runs.
Joe Kincannon along with Peyton Zimmerman back deep for Mavs as Max Chavez will kick off. Here's the kick. It's going to be fielded by Kincannon. Makes a move up the field. Will be hit and knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. I'm sorry, that was Wilson Key on the return.
They usually have 2 guys for, especially your outside guys that come down from the on the outside on the kickoff team.
Your gunners.
And he ran right by both of them.
Isn't that how you draw it up?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on the kickoff team.
That's right.
Is that the kind of stuff you don't want to see yourself on film?
Correct.
There's a quick pass out to Zimmerman, makes a nice move across the 30 up to the 31-yard line, gains 5 on the play. Bring up second down, 2nd and 5 for the Mavs.
Number 2, Max Chavez on the stop.
Now they're going to mark him back at the 29. I don't think the knee was down. I think he put the hand down.
I think his elbow was down. I think when he went down, he went like this. And if your forearm was down, that's considered down.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 7. Key for Southside, too, guys. They've got to get that one matchup there where they get that one-on-one. Northside looks like they may come with the blitz off the corner here. Pass over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. That's Calderera on the interception. He's going to be at the 20, 15, 10, cuts it back inside. Touchdown, Northside.
Touchdown Northside, number 44, Lucas Calderera.
Wow. He just dropped back in coverage, and he just didn't, there was like 3 Northside guys right there in front of him. And it's not what you want to happen at this stage of the game, but they needed a
Southside's got to stop the bleeding at some point.
yeah.
In a hurry.
Jalen Chavez to attempt the extra point for Northside.
When you think about Southside, though, in their 3 possessions, they lost it on downs twice. Then you had the interception, which was compounded by the return for the touchdown. The extra point's up, and it's good. It's Jalen Chavez.
9:44 remaining in the first half. It's your Northside Grizzlies 21, the Southside Mavericks 0.
Okay, the next question we've got, guys, is, okay, Forsgren has the interceptions, return for a touchdown. What does it do to your confidence? You just have to forget about it and go on?
Yes. You got to – listen, you got to have a short-term memory to play that position. It's
Kicking off for Northside, number 2, Max Chavez.
The worst thing about them old pick sixes is you got about 35 seconds to get over it.
Webb and Key back deep to receive for the
Got Wilson Key along with Jaden Webb back for the Mavs. Coach is getting different looks back there each time on the kickoff.
Well, we've seen Peyton back there, we've seen Joe Kincannon back there, and we've seen Key back there. So
The thing I like about Key being back there, guys, is the fact he's got good hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all three of those guys do.
the one thing that hurts Wilson is that he just doesn't have a lot of speed. And I think that just hurts the whole Southside team because they're not blessed with a lot of team speed. Not like they were last year.
Well, and you had a little bit of size last year, too, that you're missing this year, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
You guys mentioned speed. Are you guys talking about Amari Tucker and
Gregory was pretty quick. I mean, Grayson was, too.
Yeah.
Those guys could fly. And Zimmerman.
Yeah, you had a quarterback that could run, too.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it wasn't like George Harrell was slow.
Well, they started they got a lot better when they put Zimmerman at quarterback, and so they could run some of their. And George, I think with all some of the issues that personal issues they had, that moving him to receiver helped him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he looked good last year.
He actually had a pretty good basketball season too last year. Here's Key on the return. Hits out across the 30-yard line up to the 31-yard line.
That kid just ran right by a guy and just kind of pushed him. And
Key on the return, number 23, Antoine.
That's Antoine Thomas on the tackle. I think Thomas, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he started in basketball for Northside last year as a sophomore. Got a flag on the play.
Yeah, they got some mouthing going on. Get a little frustrated and.
I didn't see any Southside hands go up, though. I mean, it was a bunch of pushing, but it was mainly from those black jerseys.
Well, they're still actually look like they may mark it off against Northside. Let's see. But you're going to have that, guys. I know that a lot of times they'll tolerate some of it, but then at some point you got to get control of it.
Dominic.
And, guys, I don't mean to be critical, but the most meaningless penalty in the world is offsetting penalties. Even though they are marked up, if they do it again, then they're out of the game.
Correct.
That's the only thing that really kind of hurts all 45.
But, you know, guys, it's always that second guy that gets caught most of the
time.
time. So we'll have Webb in the backfield with Forsgren. Here's a handoff, and going to get maybe 1-2 yards. Good job by Webb, though, guys, of leading forward and getting an extra yard.
That's it.
Dominic's brother, John, was notorious about getting.
That's what I mean. I think Dominic's going to have to play a little bit different for the rest of this game.
Yeah, guys, I know some stories I could tell you about John that went on during games that we can't repeat on here. But, yeah, he was a good ball player, though. But I'll tell you what, he had to check his jersey after every game because, man, that kid got that jersey basically ripped off every game he played. He's second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. 2 receivers either side of the field. Forsgren wants to throws. He's got time. There's a nice catch by Wilson Key for the first down. There's Calderera again.
I tell you what, that Calderera, he flies around football.
Yeah, he does.
I'm going to tell you what, guys, this guy might be all-state by one game. I mean, we've called his name several times. He got the interception for the touchdown.
Well, and you know, we were talking about Southside ought to play that little 3-4 with the old Tony Bua look. It looks like that's what Calderera's playing, is old Tony Bua position, old monster backer.
Well, I like it, too, and we'll talk about it after this play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 48. Here's a handoff to Webb. He's got an open field. He's at the 35, 30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown Southside.
See, that's just like when Northside scored a while ago. There was zero person in the middle. There was no one.
That's right.
And once he broke the first wave of broke the linebackers, there was no one there. Now, the difference between Northside and Southside, Northside had a cat that was fast enough to clip his heels right before the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
But
Doug, you'll remember this, too. You talk about being in the wrong spot, leaving the field open. You remember playing Bentonville in the state championship a few years ago, and our safety came up and went to the wrong hole. They ran the ball to the other hole that he should have been at. Right. The kid goes like 89 yards for a touchdown. That's got to be frustrating. Ball down, kick is up, it's good. Good answer by the Mavs.
Yes, it is.
4 plays, 69 yards, 51-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb. Plus, it gives them confidence now. Get a stop here, get maybe another score before the half, and go in feeling pretty good about yourself.
And Southside gets the ball to start the second half.
Yes, sir.
So. Northside 21, Southside 7.
I think Matt Blaylock's having trouble counting tonight, guys.
Tonight?
I think Mr. Grizzly is reluctant to give Southside 7 points tonight.
So.
We love Matt Blaylock, though, folks. He's a great guy. They do a great job over here, and then Buzz Sawyer and his crew with the Grizzly Network. Buzz has put a lot of time and money into that to get that to what it is right now, and the folks at Northside should be really appreciative of what Buzz has done.
Yes.
Well, from what I heard pregame, I was thankful he was here tonight looking out for us.
Big opportunity for Southside as Rodrigo Hernandez will do the kicking. Dave Fernandez, along with Damani Brock, will be back deep for the Grizzlies. Good crowd tonight, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. He's going to cross the 10, and he's got a hole and will be hit and finally pulled down at about the 31-yard line. I believe that was Dunn maybe that got a hand on him and slowed him down. I'll tell you what, if Dunn didn't have those guns out there, that might have been a long run. He slowed him down just enough for his mates to come over and make the play.
He is a strong young man.
It'll be 1st and 10 Grizzlies, ball spot their own 31-yard line.
And Doug, to your point earlier, Southside really needs to come up, and they're going to have to play a little press coverage because, they're really not we've not seen how what kind of arm Bowers really has out there. So
he just throwing short routes, and hey, he's managing the game really well. He's doing what the coaches are asking him to do.
Youngblood goes in motion. They're going to swing an inside pass to Curry. It's going to be incomplete.
That was to. They were trying to set up a tunnel screen to Massey.
Incomplete, 2nd down.
I'm sorry, I said Curry. That was Massey, and that was Tamaria Johnson on the coverage for the Mavs, senior linebacker.
Yeah, when that tunnel screen works, man, it works really good.
Yeah, if you got C.J. Brown to run it, it really helps too, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a receiver that fast, guys. I know Satania was fast at Fayetteville, but that young man could run. You're playing off that coverage again. And Bowers is going to be hit, and that should be a live ball right there.
No, it was going forward.
They turned him around on the side. Looked like it might have had a chance to go the other way, but you're right, it was. I see what you're talking about down there, Doug. You've got Cameron Massey matched up one-on-one. Well, they're getting him about 10 yards.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just if I'm a cornerback, I wouldn't want that.
There's Ethan Dunn on the big play for the Mavs. Good job, defense.
I wouldn't want that responsibility.
No, that would be an assignment I would.
I noticed they got Lee Prince out there now, and boy, you talking about a good young man. He's another one that didn't want to play basketball, or he didn't come out for basketball until late his sophomore year because he was a basketball player just like Derek Lacey, but his dad is real instrumental in the Little Mavs and Little Grizz Cubs, the youth program now for football. Good guy.
Yeah, Prince also hit that big shot to send it to overtime over at Northside last year, too. Got a flag on the play. Going to be a delay of game, I believe.
Flag part of the play.
See, that's what Southside's got to do more of. They've got to keep Northside from making the big play and keep them behind the chains. In other words, just put them in long situations, because I don't think they do very well if they, and particularly to get a good rush on the quarterback like they have the times they've stopped them.
Let me ask you this too, guys, and this is kind of going back to Moody. If you've got him at quarterback, he's going to do a little bit more job of probably trying to stretch the field than what Bowers has so far, correct?
Correct. And what's really surprised me about knowing McLean is that I didn't realize how fast he became.
Yes, sir.
Because Coach Curry used to tell me he was the most freakish athlete that he's ever been around. Because I always thought Cam Massey was, pretty freakish, being able to run and jump and do some of the stuff he did. But he said McLean was the most, because he really had, being as tall as he was, I guess he's about 6'5", and being able to run that fast.
Yeah, guys, I thought last year in that game against Southside, Northside last year, I thought he was really the main guy that kept Northside in the game.
True, he was.
Very athletic. We'll check Wynn in the ball game. It's a good job by Wilson Key on the return. Getting some low kicks. He's reading it well, making the first man miss, and getting some good positive yardage. Forsgren wants to throw. He looks downfield. Will throw the ball. It's going to be complete.
So that is now he's in the middle of the field, and he wasn't all the way, but the throwing out route to the sideline in front, about 20 yards. That's a strong arm.
Yeah, that was Joe Kincannon on the catch.
Evans on the reception will make it 1st and 10. Mavericks ball spot at the Grizzly.
Actually, I think that was number 3, Tristan Evans, on the reception. Let's get my glasses checked. Good hard throw, too, though. Hand off to Webb. He's got an open hole again. Will fight his way inside the 25. And I'll tell you what, Webb did a good job, really punished that tackler on the play.
Yes, he did.
Jaden didn't play football until his 9th grade year.
Northside going to take a timeout here. And I tell you what, Southside's kind of got them on their heels just a little bit.
I miss Jaden from basketball. He was
a pretty good basketball player, but he never grew much as far as height wise, and he was just raw. But as a football player, I remember when as an 8th grader he just played basketball at Chaffin, and then when they did the transition, we talked him into coming out in football, and he was by far our best athlete. We should have done more with him offensively, but we didn't until the last few games of the season, and then we just tried to shorten the game, but he's a good football player.
Guys, I'm going to make some initial impressions so far. Of course, Southside down 21-7, but I think the defense has really stepped up here, making some plays. The D-line playing well, your linebackers, especially Dunn, playing well out there. And then offensively, I will give credit to this offensive line. I think they've done a good job of getting Forsgren time to throw the ball and then open up some running room for the running backs.
Well, Northside's not very big as far as size-wise, and neither is, other than Nick Arnold and, let's see, Mark Rodriguez is the left guard. He's got some pretty good size. He's another one that
Southside wanting to throw here, and there comes the rush, and they're going to get him in the backfield and going to be sacked.
Forsgren goes down in the backfield. Number 34, Malachi Warren on the sack.
That's Malachi Warren back there making the play.
Malachi's one. He went to Ramsey. He's another one that lives in that we thought that maybe would be coming to Southside, but he chose to come to Northside. He would have been a good one to have. I know that.
Bring up 2nd down, 2nd, and it looks like about 20 yards to go here. Northside jumped in the neutral zone again. I got to ask you this, Coach. Is that not the most frustrating play when
No
your
doubt.
nose guard jumps offside?
No doubt. No doubt. Especially because the ball's right there in front of you, and you're going on the ball movement, not sound.
Second 15.
He's second 15 for the Mavs. They'll get 5 back. I believe Forsgren's kind of getting them, but maybe we're changing his cadence up a bit.
Well, they're going, look at me, or
Going to throw the ball towards the end zone. It's up in the air, no good.
Forsman's pass incomplete.
Mavs looked like they might have had somebody run the wrong route on that play because you had 2 Mavericks in the same area. Intended receiver was Peyton Zimmerman.
Number 2, Max Chavez in coverage.
And to your point earlier, Doug, I think Southside obviously at the 28-yard line, 4 down territory.
yeah.
Third down.
If I can just get 10 to 12 yards on this one, make it a little bit more manageable.
Well, they watched the film because you see him playing off Zimmerman. They're giving him some space. Going to throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete. A good defensive play over there. That was Chavez knocking the ball loose from
Pass incomplete.
Wilson Key.
Intended for Key. Chavez on the pass breakup. Fourth down.
You know, the pass was high, and and you basically have a defenseless defender or a receiver there, and that was he got a good lick on him. That was
That's what you got to do in that
that's what
situation.
them cornerbacks and safeties want. They want to be able to have that lick that where it is legal, and that's
It's a good, solid football play.
yes, it is.
We got 4th and 15 for the Mavs. Got a timeout on the play, I believe.
Flag, Burley.
Oh wow.
Well, I still think you're in a situation here you've got to go for it.
Fourth and 20, ball spotted at the 33-yard line.
The thing is, as far as Forsgren here, though, guys, would you keep him in the pocket, maybe roll him out away from the pressure, give the receivers time to get the routes completed before, or just go ahead and let him step up in the pocket?
I would just have him step up. I don't know how. Whatever the pass plays they're really comfortable with, they don't do a lot of sprint out stuff.
There's a pass intended for Key, and Key's got it. What a great job by Wilson Key. It should be a first down. Let's see where they're going to spot it. Yeah, it's going to be a first down.
Inside the 10, and that's what you do. And basically Wilson did there was a basketball move. He just went up there and got in, like a screen or
position.
whatever. He got in position in front
Blocked
of
him
it.
out.
Exactly. Smart play by Wilson Key. And the funny thing about that, they're going to run going to be a running play to win, going to be hitting the backfield. But what was funny about that was Chavez got the hit the previous time, and then Key gets even with him on that play.
Number 23, Antoine
They were trying to run tempo there, and that kind of blew up in their face there, and
Ball spotted,
they didn't block that guy coming off the edge.
11-yard line.
Kind of curious right now, the clock hadn't started yet. Play clock did, but they didn't start the game clock. Was a big play for Southside.
Southside would love to be able just to run this thing, the clock down to where Northside doesn't have much chance to have an opportunity to score at the end of the half.
Forsgren was a throw. Touchdown, Southside!
So
Wilson Key on the catch.
that was just a post.
7-yard pitch and catch.
John Wilson.
Tell you, that was a Wilson Key drive, guys.
Yeah,
Two
it
big
really
catches.
was. Well, we were talking about how much you're going to miss Grayson, but I tell you what, Wilson Key's kind of doing a good job at
He's
it.
a lot like Grayson.
Yeah.
He's just I don't know if he's just quick, but he's got good hands.
Good hands.
He's smart. He knows, he's just a good football player. I mean, he's not real big.
Number 83,
Guys, that was a 6-play, 49-yard drive for the Mavs. Obviously, the key play of the drive was the 21-yard completion
Northside,
to Wilson Key. And to y'all's point on that too, what a great job of really getting that inside position to be able to make the play, which, if you're the Northside coaching staff, you can't be too happy with them not getting over there because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Well, Southside ran two verticals, but the inside guy, he ran more of a skinny post to try to draw the safety with him, but and it left him one-on-one coverage, and he just got, it was wasn't thrown over his head. It was kind of a short pass, and it was he just got in position, and you see those receivers all the time in college and pros that do that stuff all the time.
Well, guys, the thing we talked about too was being a smart receiver too, and we talked about making the turn and getting the position there, but also the fact that he went past the marker and
came back to
that's two things you always look at. If you're a D-back, you got to recognize where that marker's at, and if you're the receiver, if you can get past there and get position, more the better.
Correct. That is correct. That's a good point.
Southside 14 unanswered points so far here. And, guys, this is key right here. If they can get a stop here and get that ball to start the second half and take it outside, I'll tell you what, it was a nice return for Northside.
Wasn't a very good kick. I don't think they wanted to kick. You don't want to give Northside any opportunity to where they can go and run. And that ball wasn't kicked very deep and it wasn't kicked very high, and so it didn't give Southside enough time to get down there and cover. The best kick he had, I think, was the very first one where he kicked it on the ground and it kind of squibbed around there for a while, and it gave Southside an opportunity to get down and get down on the coverage.
I like that squib kick if you're not kicking it through the uprights.
Yeah.
Colvin back in at running back. Going to run Colvin off the right side, and he's going to be dropped after about a 3-yard gain. Brings up second down, 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies. Guys, I'm impressed with the pursuit by this Southside defense tonight.
Had some really big gang tackles. I like seeing that. Swarm to the ball.
Big opportunity for the Mavs. We've got 4:08 to go here. Here's the handoff again to Colvin. He makes one-man miss. We'll get up to about the 45-yard line. He'll have to come out of the ball game.
Perez on the stop.
Like Youngblood coming in for him.
Yep, Youngblood will check it back in. Yeah, I've got to check that too, guys. They were saying that the first touchdown was Youngblood. I thought it was 22.
Well, I actually got texted. I think it was Youngblood.
It was Youngblood. Yeah. Okay, we'll correct that then. Southside coming with a little blitz here. That's Dom coming off the corner, and there's Bowers. Going to throw the ball to his receiver, and Massey goes down. What a great job there. And there was Lee Prince again making the play for Southside. Along with Layden Rowe over there for the Mavs, sophomore linebacker. See what Northside wants to do. I think you got a punt here, don't you guys? Yeah, they're going to bring the punter in. Boy, what a job. Guys, this Southside defense, that's 3 in a row now. 3 and outs. As Elijah Rogers will check in to punt the ball away. Wilson Key drops back deep for the Mavs.
Back deep to receive for the Mavericks, number 4, Wilson Key.
Tell you what, I hope Parkinson's okay. Look like
he's struggling a little bit.
He's struggling a little bit out there. Got delay a game here, I believe, on the north side.
Sad thing for Parkinson, you can tell he doesn't like that very much. He's mad. Hate that for him.
I tell you what, that is a great family. John was the oldest, and then Dominic, and he's got a little brother at Chaffin.
How good's the brother?
I have yet to see him play, so I really don't know.
He probably takes the brunt of the pain from the other two brothers.
For sure.
Here's the best kick of the night by Rogers. I'll tell you, he gets all of this one, and it's going to go in the end zone. Woo. Good job by Wilson Key of making sure that thing got to the end zone. It kind of did. Doug, I think it's kind of like your golf shot there when you hit it up on the green. It kind of went sideways.
Lucky to get it even on the green. But, talking about the Parkinson family, they got a little sister. I think she's in the 7th grade, and she might be the toughest one of all of them.
But I always thought the little brother had to take the brunt of everything.
I'm sure he has, but he's not quite as big as John, but he looks a lot like John. So.
Okay, guys, in this situation here, you're on your own 20. Obviously, with Northside 2 timeouts, Southside with 3. Are you going to your 2-minute offense? Or I always like the idea of if you get a nice gain on first or second down, maybe then go your 2-minute offense. There's Joaquin Fox on the carry. Going to be driven back by Antoine Thomas.
Antoine's a good football player.
Fox on the carry.
Northside's got some talented kids, Malachi, Thomas, the Chavez twins.
Arala Jones, please report to the press box to claim your prize. Arala Jones, please report to the press box to claim your prize.
Bring a second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. Again, they'll go trip set wide side of the field. Forsgren looks to throw. He's got time. We'll throw the ball, and he's got an open receiver. It's going to be complete. I believe that's Joe Kincannon over there.
Now I would try to speed it up a little bit.
You're still in a position too, Doug. I mean, it's still a run or pass situation right here.
Correct.
Warren on the stop. It'll be 1st and 10, Mavericks. Ball spot at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I think I'd come back and maybe do a quarterback keeper here. Just try to open up that defense a little bit.
Yeah, read it.
Forsgren wants to throw. Going to set a screen up. It's set up nicely to Fox. He's got an open field. He's at midfield. 40, 35, 30, inside the 30, down to the 25 to the 24-yard line. What a great call.
Wilson went after the safety. If he had turned back and got the linebacker, that guy had angle on him.
Sprung him.
That made the tackle,
Yep.
he would have gained a few more yards, or he would have gave Juan Keene an opportunity to either cut it back to the middle or whatever. But Wilson thought that he would outrun that guy, so he went after the safety. But if he just peeled back, it'd have been a better block there.
Guys, here I'm going to run the ball, work that clock down just a little bit. There's a handoff to Webb. Gets a nice move to the inside. Boy, I'll tell you what, if you could have squared those shoulders up.
Yeah, he gets going sideways, and he's not as effective.
Number 21, Abram Dotson on the
Bring up
stop.
2nd down, 2nd and 5. Now let that clock run down. We're down to a minute, and you've got all 3 timeouts. So
They're in good shape.
great clock management by the Coach Dameron and the staff. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 5. Now we've got a
Northside's going to call timeout.
Northside going to take a timeout. Guys, how big would that be? Down 21 zip. You come back, you tie it up, get the ball to start the second half.
That's huge. And a while ago you asked the question, how would Blake Forsgren react to the pick six?
No problem.
You see what? Yeah, I mean, Blake has you got to have a short-term memory, and he's done pretty good. I remember last year in a JV game they were playing. I don't know. He had they had 5 turnovers, and he was responsible for a couple of them and whatever. But he kept battling, and they ended up beating Northside in a JV game last year. And he's grown up a lot over the last couple of years, I promise you.
Well, I love the way he handles things. And guys, I want to go back to, and you can't say enough about this offensive line, the job they've done tonight, opening up holes for the running game, and then with the exception, I believe, of one play where you had Warren got the sack, Southside's done a good job of keeping everybody off of Forsgren and more importantly, giving the receivers time to run their routes.
Right. Well, Tad Stewart is probably one of the best there is in the part of the line. He's
a better bowling coach, state champion.
Yeah.
I love Tad.
He's the kid. The players love him.
Yes,
He can be a little hard on them, but they love him.
One of his pupils actually turned out to be a very good line coach, and Tank Wilson too.
Nobody in the middle. They're playing zero all the way across. There's nobody in the middle.
So you run a skinny post here.
Yeah.
Forsgren looks to throw. He's got time to throw to the end zone. Touchdown, Southside. Wilson Key.
2nd touchdown of the night for that guy.
That was a play you were talking about a while ago. Him rolling out like that, and Blake extended the game or the play.
Yeah, he took that extra couple of seconds over there. Yeah.
Well, and that's thing kind of going back to what you were saying just a second ago is, I mean, that gives those receivers a little bit longer to run their route too and get open. Yeah. Although it did kind of look like we might have had a mix-up in routes. We had 2 guys in about the exact
Well, they were
same
coming
spot.
from the other side.
Extra point, no good.
And with 43 seconds remaining in the first half, it's Portsmouth Northside 21.
It's got to feel good, guys.
Yeah.
Got to feel good. 21-20 is better than 21 zip.
Yeah, you're right.
But the thing is, though, you miss that extra point. We always talk about this, Terrell. You got to do it the hard way, right?
Every time.
Every time, yes.
Every time.
Now, what a drive, though, for the Mavs. They go 80 yards, and that was 6 plays, 18-yard touchdown pass. And, guys, another key play on that drive, too, obviously, was the screen pass set up to Joaquin Fox. Got him down there with a chance to make the play.
And there was no one out there.
Well, and, Coach, you talked about it earlier. It's like once Blake settles in, he hadn't had too many more balls fly on him.
No.
He'd been throwing strikes out there.
And, guys, something I want to get to at halftime, too, is we'll kind of look at the switching leagues this year going to the 6A. Ought to be interesting for Southside. And I'm really kind of looking forward to going to some of the places. Obviously not Mountain Home when we have to go there next year, but, you get Lake Hamilton. They're always a pretty good team. Greenwood's got one of the best teams they probably ever had, which is saying a lot in itself. And, Shiloh's always good. Well, I think we called a fair catch.
Mendoza on the fair catch for Northside.
Okay, question on that, Coach. Got to ask you on that one as a referee. The kid that called the fair catch actually is not the one that made the catch. Is that actually a fair catch?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Northside, ball spotted thrown.
Hey, they're talking about it. They might be listening in on you, Keith.
They never listen to me.
17-yard line.
I think they were trying to figure out where they were going to spot the ball at.
I think
Correct.
so.
But anytime anybody raises their hand and signals for a fair catch, then that kills the ball. Particularly, I'd say, okay, that's a pass.
Yeah.
Well, good job by Southside on the pursuit. Massey will get maybe 2 yards. Actually, spot him at the 20-yard line.
That was a play that they was just going to kind of run and, hopefully they can get, because they have speed and they've used it a couple of, you can use safe plays like that and, he's liable to break one.
Well, and running that little jet sweep like that, he's going to be outside regardless. So it's like if he gets off the little bit of a run, he can just step out of bounds and stop that clock.
That is true.
Guys, I watched a game the other night. I can't remember who it was, but they ran that same play, pitched the ball up, and the guy dropped it. It was almost like
Complete pass.
a complete incomplete pass. He basically handed it off to him in the front. But here's interesting, guys. Southside takes a timeout here.
Chess match has begun.
No, Northside took the timeout.
Oh, Southside took that one.
Okay.
Yeah, they're down to 2 now. Northside, I think, is just trying to get out of the half right now and regroup. I'll tell you what, guys, you're sitting here thinking, hope we don't get to the mercy rule. Now you're thinking, hey, we may.
Ball game.
Yeah, it's a ball game.
Right. Trying to figure out what you're going to talk about once it got up to a certain point. So.
I think it's a little too early to start talking about basketball season.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm impressed with the grit the Southside team has put out tonight. Even when we were down 21 zip, I could still see a lot of positive things going on with this team. They're going to hand the ball off again, and it'll be Coven. He'll be hit and drop after he's about 2 yards short. Let's see what Southside wants to do. Going to take a timeout here.
It's Northside. It is Southside.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Southside's going to try to.
I don't understand that.
Well, I think what they're thinking is your punter.
Ball back.
Your punter had a really good punt last time, but the other times he's really kind of left them short. They've gotten good returns from Wilson Key, so maybe thinking they can get a chance to. But that being said, too, I don't know that you got the kicker, the distance to really get anything out of it. But then, too, you might think you might want to get a turnover. And, hey, we've got Michael Beaumont coming up here, and you guys got to ask him where we get. Coach Beaumont, we'll get the headsets on. We got to ask you, sir, I love those pants. Where'd you get those pants at?
Let me tell you what, Mrs. Beaumont, I can't live this one down. It's a little skinnier than I'm used to at my age, but I wanted to be in a patriotic theme tonight for the F-35s, and so I had to sport them.
You look nice.
I appreciate that.
Coach, you got a
nice golf pants.
Well, hey, I know you're ready to go anytime. We can go right after this.
Coach Beaumont, you got to be impressed, though, with what Southside has done here, down 21-zip to come back. And we were talking about the quarterback, Blake Forsgren. How's he come back after the interception? Well, I'll tell you what, he came back big time on that. They're going to run the ball here, and he's going to get the first down. That'll probably just end up running the clock out here. But, these rivalry games, man, you never know what's going to happen.
I think early on we saw everybody was all juiced up and ready to go. I thought Northside's defense looked really well early. Southside just kept pushing and kept pushing. I think Southside had a chance to maybe let go of the rope when it's 21-0, and they went ahead and got a couple of first downs and kept driving. Then all of a sudden they put one on the board and they start believing a little bit, and before you know it, we're almost tied up, 21-20.
We were talking about too, even when they were down too. I think one big thing that Coach Derriman is going to be really happy is the play of the offensive line tonight for Southside.
I like the way they play, and obviously what Coach Stewart has done with this group, because he lost every single body last year. And when I say bodies, those were Mack truck bodies last year. And what I really saw on Coach Pogue, I know that you like this, that screen that ended up on the blitz, when they came out and they were all finding somebody, that looked nice. Now, that was well executed.
Yes, it was.
Now, Northside takes a time out here. Let's see what they want to do. The Southside's going to drop back in a prevent defense. It's been a lot of fun tonight. We were talking, too, though. Bauer's done a good job here for Northside at quarterback, but I'll tell you, Moody out there would really stretch that field. And that young man, he's we've talked about him. Yeah. What an athlete. He makes a difference.
He really is, and he's a big-time athlete. And I know that speaking with him over the past couple of weeks, he's hating that he's not out here right now. And I hope he heals up and is ready to go for baseball season. But this kid that came in from Fayetteville, he doesn't do a bad job now. But I thought Forsgren, the Forsgren Key connection tonight has really been nice.
Yeah, we were kind of in the pregame. We were talking maybe Forsgren Zimmerman most of the night, but it's been Key. And Key, you could tell what a great or how smart the young man is when he makes this play down here and he gets the inside position. He goes far enough down to where he knows where the first down is and he's able to make the play. But I was telling the guys before the game started, watching Forsgren the other night against Alma, I think this young man's got a chance to be one of the better quarterbacks Southside's ever had.
And that's what I hear the staff tell me, that this kid he's got a lot of potential and upside to him. And then you're talking about the Key kid. You probably all don't know this. I know that Coach Pogue knows this, but he gets a lot of his athletic ability from his mother, and so that's really.
He definitely gets his smarts.
There's no question. There's no question about it.
That's good. The kid will make it in life then, if that's the case.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but it's good to see too in the Southside team, really a young team, and we were kind of talking just briefly about the new alignment in the conference and everything. Going to be an interesting year this year. Get the Little Rock schools coming in, and then starting conference. It's going to be a lot of fun to go up. I'll get to go to some places I've never been before. Get to go up to Siloam Springs, see Coach Williams again, get to visit with him a little bit, and then Lake Hamilton's that's a pretty fun trip, I think. And Silo.
You talk about it, Keith. We say the word drop in classification, but it's not a drop in talent. There's some good football teams just under this level, and
oh yes.
It's going to be tough. They'll have to play their A game every time Southside goes out, just like Northside will have to play in that conference that they're in. And so it's going to be good football for the next couple of years.
Northside will be playing in the West this year. I know Buzz was real excited to be able to. You go up there and it's a little bit different up there as far as your setup and your different things you got to do, and the stadiums are different. We always kind of joked about this a little bit. You had Bryant. How many state championships Bryant win? And you go up there, man, that press box looks like it's going to collapse on you.
You know what? There's still a player picture on the wall of Doug Pogue in that visitor's press box. That's how old that thing is. So, gee whiz,
I appreciate that.
Golly.
I thought you were talking about that at Little Rock Mills. They had an old house there, I think.
There you go.
I saw Doug's picture in there, too.
I played in that field that had the wire fence around it.
Oh, my goodness.
Had guards around it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Now, you guys laugh about that. My former partner, I used to do the games with, Steve Rinke, many years ago, and he talked about doing games and stuff, and they did a game at Cedarville.
Yeah.
And they had a guy set up back there in the press box on a deer stand with a gun waiting for deer while they're doing the game. I mean, you see it all eventually.
There's no question.
Yeah, that's what makes this job so much fun for me, Coach Beaumont's the fact I get to go to places I would never get to see, and it's just you get to see the development of these kids and the job these coaches are doing, and just a lot of fun. And I tell you what, I want to congratulate you two on the job that y'all did of everything you guys had going on before the game, and you guys made this a real event tonight.
That was a lot of fun pregame, wasn't it? And I was excited that we got to do that. In my short time here, we got to do the parachutes one year, the helicopter one year, and then how blessed were we to have the parade for Coach Rowland last year, and then the F-35s this year with that flag that took over the whole field and some fireworks. I thought what a moment that was. And then selfishly for me, the coin toss, my brother and his wife were the honorary coin toss tonight, and they've served between them, 7 tours overseas and in Iraq.
That's
and
awesome.
Awesome.
And so I was blessed to have them here tonight. So it was a great night. I hope it's something that when we do these kind of things, we're in the kid business, and we want to make memories that I want them to have for the rest of their life. And I'm hoping that was something that they'll remember forever.
And Coach Bowman, I got to ask you this. It's for me and Terrell. We've got to know this. We did a baseball game with you last year.
Sure.
And you took a picture of us before you left. You said you were going to put that on America's Most Wanted. Did you have any hits?
Well, I did, but they were some elderly females, and I didn't want to bring that up. But now that you all say that, I promised those young ladies I wouldn't say anything about it.
Yeah, I think that was Terrell.
It might have been. It might have been. But I appreciate what you guys do. Coach Pogue, I'm glad to see you back on the field and doing some color. How great, Keith, it is to have Coach Pogue up here with his
I'm going to tell you what, I've known Coach Pogue for a long time, and we did a baseball game, and I don't think we did the game, Coach. We just spent more time talking about old stories and everything. But he sees things on the field that Terrell sees them a lot, too. Both of them do a great job, and they'll see things that Keith Evans won't see. Keith Evans, the only time he was able to call a lot of things was when Slick Shelley was here, and I knew if it was single coverage, that's where the ball was going. And people thought I was a genius when I did know that, but that's one of the few things I could do. But it's great to have him here, and it's great to have Terrell. I've got the best crew around.
And what you guys do for the community and for the south side of town, I very much appreciate you guys and being a part of this event tonight and for the season. I appreciate what you do, and then next year we'll see if we can get Coach Pogue. We're going to do monster trucks, I think, next year.
Good.
And I'm going to get Coach Pogue in the passenger seat of one of them. We'll fire it up, and we'll let you get after it.
Well, the scary thing was they told me last year, and I'm glad we didn't have to do it, but they were wanting to do a softball game last year, and they wanted me and Buzz to go out and hit against those girls pitching that softball, and I'm thinking, I wouldn't be able to see that thing coming in.
Coach Nutt and I did that one time at Ole Miss, and that ball comes so fast, and they're so close. And for a minute, I thought, is that a baby aspirin that she's throwing at me right there? And it was by you. Coach, you can't react fast enough. Those girls are so talented and such an athlete. It was just unbelievable.
I played fast pitch for quite a few years after I got finished playing baseball, so I know how fast.
Coach, that's too much for me. I had trouble enough with the little bitty one. That big one, that's not even closer. That's not even fun. But I appreciate what y'all do, and hope it comes out for I'm hoping for a 7 overtime tie, and we'll have to pick it up and start it over again tomorrow. So
now you know that. Remember the Northside Southside basketball game last year? You came up talking to me.
I remember this.
Wanted to sell those excess hot dogs you had over there. Then I think it was Prince since that 3-pointer to send into overtime. So you never know what can happen.
And I've got a few hot dogs left. So
there you go.
Hope for it. Thank you all so much for what you do. Thank you.
You're welcome,
so
sir.
much.
We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We present our 2024 marching show, Cosmic.
Guys, it's good to have Coach Beaumont up here, and he did an excellent job of getting everything going here tonight. And just a spectacle that we got to see tonight, and that's something that when you have Northside, Southside, you're glad to see that. And guys, one thing I'll say, too, I'm really glad to see tonight. We got a good crowd here tonight. And, Doug, I know you'll remember this. Us being a couple of old-timers, you remember when they used to play down here and you had the open field down there in the end zone? We'd all play football down there?
Yeah, there was better games than
yes.
In the end zone there was. Oh, yeah.
We was on about 7th grade trying to impress the girls down there with our football skills. And
you had then you had the track that went around the field,
yes.
And people walking the track. And oh, yeah.
These facilities that both Northside and Southside have now just really I love Mayo Thompson Stadium just in the fact, all the tradition here. And, it's kind of one of the old stadiums and stuff. I know you go like places like El Dorado, different places that are kind of similar to it. And you get to go to different places and you see the history. And people laugh at me, guys, when I say this. And you guys will, I know, Doug, you've probably been there before. And Terrell, you'll get to experience this next year. But Quigley Stadium, it's
that and Scott Field down there.
Oh, Scott Field was probably the worst. They had, it was weird, they had those things in the bathrooms that were for, I don't know what they were. And then they had, there was nothing on one side. It was like a junior high field. Scott Field was pretty bad, but I love doing games at Quigley. The only problem is at Quigley, if you got to go downstairs and come back up, you're out of breath because it's a long ways up. It's a great place to call a game, but a lot of tradition there too, and a lot of fun for the things we get to do, guys.
I can't remember which one of the fields they had the barbed wire around the fence because that's where, a long time ago the prisoners used to play at too. So it's a lot of history. This field, this is where where Southside played most of their games, or they played all their home games until I can't remember when they started. When Southside started playing all their games at Southside when they got bleachers and lights and so forth, but that's why they call it the Battle of Rogers Avenue, because both of them used this as their home field, and it's always been a special place.
Been a lot of good games here over the years. With,
yes, there has.
Coach Stansel and the job that Northside every year seemed like they were winning. Of course, back then, though, too, didn't you have it? Wasn't it like a 10-team conference was your top?
Yeah.
You had the Little Rock schools and El Dorado and.
It was called I think it was called the Power Six. It said El Dorado, Pine Bluff, North Little Rock Central.
Catholic.
No, Catholic was not in at that time. Or
Little Rock Hall.
When Little Rock Hall, when Coach Stansel was coaching, and I played here. I went here my sophomore year, then moved went to Southside my junior and senior year. But that were but. I remember, when I was telling you, John Bozeman was a senior my sophomore year, and we were pretty good. Had Billy Joe Relaford and Glenn Bannister was the quarterback, and
Glenn Bannister was
he's a great athlete.
He was a great baseball player.
Hurt
his knee, didn't he? And
I can't remember what happened to him. I know he was a catcher, caught at OU, and it was there's a lot of particularly during that time Northside was just very dominant, and you had Robert Owens, and you had the Carter brothers, Steve.
Yes, legends.
And Roger came back a few years later. David was a little bit before my time, but it was had a lot of great athletes during that time.
I think you even go back to, I think, basketball over here at Northside.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, they've had several state championships, but I think that I remember as a kid I got to go watch it. I think they had a game when Ron Brewer played Marvin Delph and Conway.
Right.
And, you saw some games. They had Lawson Pilgrim and Marvin Delph, and Northside had Meimersdorf. And I'll tell you another great athlete over here that a lot of people don't look at, too, is Jerry Taylor.
Right, yes.
Yeah, Jerry Taylor, he actually played football and basketball at TU, Tulsa.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
I was actually playing a little bit of golf with my oldest the other day, and he was like, "Dad, you see who's playing up there in front of us? Is Isaiah Joe. Happened to come back to town and just play a little round of golf."
Should have went over there and told him to buy your lunch. I'm sure that big contract he just signed, he could probably afford it.
I think he's the official sixth man right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's another thing about Northside you look at. You've got Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams, and I still got on Coach Williams about that being his stepson. He should have him over at Southside, but it didn't work out.
I had a buddy that I officiate with sometimes, and he was telling me that he was at a house, works for Cox, and he was at a house, and the guy who brought him in is an older guy, and he showed him this picture of Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain and some of the old Los Angeles Lakers. I think Elgin Baylor and there was another guy that was in it, And he said, you know who that is right there? And he said, no. And he said, that's me. It's Jim King.
Jim King, yes.
There you go.
And so, it's, there's a lot of, Northside's had a lot of history as far as just great players, whether it be basketball or football.
Yeah, you talk about players back then, just kind of change the subject just a bit. You talk about the great basketball players. I know growing up watching the John Havliceks, and, I remember Wilt Chamberlain guys, and I read a book one time about Bob Lanier. You guys know Bob Lanier, 6'11", 280?
Bad boy.
He decides he's going to mix it up with Wilt Chamberlain in the middle as a rookie. He gets in there. Chamberlain picks him up, sets him outside the lane. He said, no more. I'm going to stay out my area now. He didn't want anything to do with Chamberlain after that. So, but, gentlemen, I'll tell you what, it's been a good first half tonight as Southside
It ended up being pretty entertaining.
Spotting them 21 points right off. And, guys, you were right about, Forsgren. I just love that confidence coming back after the Caldera interception. And we'll kind of look at the first half scoring summary tonight as Northside started with the ball first. They started on their own 20-yard line, and they go 6 plays, 80 yards, a 62-yard touchdown run by, I think we got that corrected. That was actually Jaden Youngblood that scored the touchdown. And, again, you had a couple opportunities, fellas, to maybe make a tackle, not to keep that from happening.
Well, once he cleared the line of scrimmage and got past the linebacker, there was nobody going to catch him because, like I say, the middle was wide open. And
and Southside came back and actually had a really good drive of their own. They went 13 plays, but they got held on downs, and it was a nice drive. I kind of go back to the play before. They threw the pass down to Zimmerman, and you got a good tackle down there by the Northside defender to keep him from getting the first down, forcing the fourth down, and then Northside steps up, gets the hold. But you develop a little confidence right there, guys, when you run 13 plays first series.
Well, that turned around, and it ended up basically being a punt, that turnover on downs, because we were so far into their territory. I mean, I think we ended up giving them about 20 yards back of it, but you started your next possession about the 30. So.
And, guys, Northside had a couple of exchanges there. Northside gets the ball on their own 22-yard line, and they get the big play of the ball game. We were kind of waiting on Cam Massey to do anything. They kind of come out with that bubble screen to the outside, and Southside had a chance to get him down, guys, but he's able to break it for a 57-yard touchdown.
Right. The thing about Southside defense, they've given up 2 big plays, and that's basically it.
That's right.
And then the interception, the pick 6. Southside offensively, until they got down there on the by the end zone and what they call the red zone, is that they have had their way of moving the football, and they've taken the time. Northside, that's the only time they've stopped them. Southside has yet to punt. And so, Southside has had a good game plan, and, I think a lot of it is basically trying to keep Northside's offense off the field because, like I say, Northside is pretty, they're pretty explosive with their speed and stuff.
Yeah, Southside, you're right, guys. They haven't punted once yet, but then you had that big play. Lucas Caldera gets the interception, runs it back 44 yards for the touchdown, and we're kind of questioning the way this game's going down 21-zip. We're still – fellas, we're just barely getting into the second. Actually, I think we might have still been in the first period, weren't we, when that happened?
The very end of it, I think.
Yeah, it was actually in the second period because it happened down at this end. So, it was a play where, you're thinking, well, what, you got that young quarterback in there. What's he going to do? Well, we see what he can do here is he's able to take us down. We take the ball back and get the ball and go a 51-yard. What helped it, too, I think a lot of confidence comes with this, guys. You get the 51-yard. It was a 5-play, 69-yard drive for the Mavs, but a 51-yard touchdown run by Jaden Webb.
And that was another situation where Northside had no one in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, which I coach both offense and defense, you do not like to give up the middle.
No.
you don't, and so when you're playing dual safeties or whatever, you're not rolling you're rolling one up, but you roll the other one to the middle. But and now the defenses are more geared to either play zero coverage or play cover 2, where you do have to do double safeties. But if you got like Northside, you put they'll put twins on each side and stack them or whatever. Your safety rolls out because they got to defend one or the other, and so that opens up the middle. And that's what good offensive coaches do. They find where your mismatches are at or where you have an opportunity to hit, and so therefore that was good play call on both teams when they saw that.
Guys, I've got to ask this question too. Just hearing what you're saying, Doug, and everything that things you notice out there. As far as the coaching staff, there's always that question of should the coordinator be? Should he be in the booth or should he be on the field? And the things you're telling me out here that you're seeing up here, you're probably not seeing that on the field, are you?
No, but you have coaches up there that has headphones on or telling you the same thing down there. And it's just like, where, some offensive coaches like to be in the booth, some like to be on the field. Well, I hated to be in the booth because you lose that connection with the players and stuff, or, so where you can look them in the eye or whether you can, talk to them on the field. And so, but in junior high, we didn't have the luxury of being like that. So we didn't have enough coaches. So I was always on the field. And
Southside gets the ball back, and they'll take over at their 49-yard line. And after a nice punt return by Wilson Key, Southside, two big plays, obviously, in the drive, guys. They had 4th and 20. Wilson Key, as we had mentioned earlier, does a great job of going down, first of all, getting inside position, and then getting far enough down to get the first down. 4th and 20, they get the first down, set them up at the 9, lose 2 yards, and then they get a 13-yard pass completion to Key for the touchdown.
Yeah, that was a strike. Tell you what, he was open, but that ball, it had a little bit of a window that it had to make it through, and it went right through the middle of the window.
And Southside, again, defense steps up. And the defense, give them credit, too, played really well in the second quarter. Really, Northside didn't really get much going. Southside comes back, and they have a 5-play drive, 80 yards. Obviously, big play of the drive was a screen pass to Joaquin Fox that got him down the field quite a ways. A couple of good runs by Jaden Webb, and then another pass completion to Wilson Key, 18 yards for the touchdown. Which what was really nice about that play was the fact that I think Forsgren actually held that ball just a little bit longer to let his guys get in position.
Yes.
They thought he was going to take off and run with it, and he looked like it. And then he kind of retreated and saw Wilson streaking across the other, because Wilson came from the other side. And so, but going back to Joaquin's the screen pass to him, Joaquin has really worked really hard on catching the ball, because when he, as a 9th grader, he did not catch it very well. A lot of them don't catch it, but
that's right.
But he's worked hard. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone over there, I can just sit there and talk. I haven't been around a lot of the sophomores, but the junior and senior class, about every one of them, I coached them when they came over as 9th graders, and so. It's a good group.
Well, your key too, guys, is I tell you what, if we could just get the numbers up a little bit. I'm not sure how you do that, or if kids are wanting to play football as much as they did before, or what it is. But boy, the numbers, you get those up a little bit, would really. I know coaches would like to see that.
See, I was surprised to see the number at Northside, because I remember them telling me at the beginning of the summer that they had, 90 to 100 kids out, and
that's what I'd been hearing.
And that wasn't even near that number. And so
we were thinking around, what'd you say, Terrell? 55?
Well, I was counting it off. It looked like it was actually closer to 70 when I actually counted them. But I was thinking 55 was about max, but they actually had a little bit more than what I was thinking.
That's about how many Southside has, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like 70.
Right at 70, I think.
Doug, what do you think the big difference is to obviously being the 9th grade coach for a long time at Chaffin, going to where Chaffin and Ramsey and Kimmons Darby all become middle schools now? How does that play in for Southside and Northside as far as, obviously it's got to help somewhat in getting these kids ready to play?
I think so. I think it gets them into their system a little bit quicker when they're ninth graders because you're around the high school coaches more and you have a little bit more input from them than you do from the middle schools. That first year was a little bit different for us. Our numbers were just like Southside seniors. There's just not very many, and we didn't have very many out to begin with to start with. And so when I say transition, it was definitely a transition. But I think in the long run it will benefit them. I think when they in the ninth grade, and also in the middle school, they were complaining a little bit about having to go travel to Northwest Arkansas to play in that conference up there against Bentonville and Springdale and so forth, instead of playing down here playing Alma and Greenwood and whatever.
That's a step up.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, I was for it for the simple fact was if you're going to be able to compete against them, you're going to have to either get better, and the only way you're going to get better is to play that competition because you got to know what you got to do. Now, I understand you have to have players, but, but in that regards, I loved it. I loved the 1 year that I got to go up to play Fayetteville and Bentonville, and, we competed, and we struggled. We played Bentonville right off the bat, the first game of the year, and I remember Blake throwing a couple of picks, but, we came back and we battled with them. I think, in fact, Bentonville, I think their junior class might be the best they've ever had up there.
Great, man. Yeah, did y'all play against that Nye kid?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. The funny thing, too, talking to Coach Williams, he used to tell me, Keith, I never thought numbers were that big of a deal. And he said, I went up to Bentonville to play a sophomore JV game. Bentonville trots out about 75 sophomores, and then they trot out about another 75 for the JV game. And he said, I got kids playing both ball games. And
right.
Yeah, and there's kids sitting on that bench. You get places like Fayetteville who will not have another school. And, there's kids sitting on that bench. And I'm thinking, man, we're watching these kids play at the end of a ball game. This kid would probably start at Southside or other places
anywhere
too.
else.
Yeah.
Well, Bentonville's ninth graders, when we'd go up there and Coach Horton, his first name is Tone, we really had a really good relationship, and I really liked him. When we'd go up there to their team camp during the summer, well, they trot out about 90 kids.
Yeah.
And it's just, and eventually, with 90 kids, you're going to find 22 players.
You think. The funny thing, too, I remember you talk about the progression of, like, schools like Bentonville. I remember going up there when Bentonville first came in the conference in the West. We used to play out there at that old, it was like a junior high or elementary school. Did you ever go out there? And
No.
I'm thinking, man, I'm heading out there. I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a palace. This is Walmart country. And you get down there, I think Walmart had a little blurb underneath the scoreboard, and it was like a junior high. The press box was like center field at the old Hunts Park before they redid it.
Wow.
And they actually had a team that they had a quarterback named Schlegelhoff, I think, and they won state. I think they won state that year.
Well, Coach Dameron came from. That's where he played at a little bit, and then he moved to Rogers. I think that's where he graduated.
Yeah, he was a quarterback at Rogers.
Yeah, and
Coach Dameron is one I think.
He's a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he walked on at Arkansas.
I remember him, but he played. I think he played back when Coach Holtz was up there.
Yeah, I think he walked on. Actually started as a freshman with Billy Ray Smith and Richard Richardson, some of those guys, and Gary Anderson, and I believe his dad was a girls coach at one time, coached Amber Nicholas. That's what he told me, that played for the Razorbacks. Northside will kick off here to start the second half. Here's the kick. It's going to come down and going to be fielded and taken at the 10-yard line. He's at the 20, got a hole, and will across the 30 up to the 33-yard line. A nice return.
Not very good blocking by who's that?
That was Zimmerman on the return. Spot the ball at the 33-yard line. That's where Southside will start the first possession of the second half.
First and 10 for the Mavericks.
You know, I don't know why, but I watched. If you got too deep back here, I don't know why the other guy would just basically refuses to block. I mean, you think
you'd be blocking for each other?
No kidding.
Yeah.
I see it more and more often. He just, you know.
Well, you could be like Northside, where the kid tries to call the fair catch, and the other one he wants to run it back too. I can tell you guys a funny story here in a second too. Is after this play, I don't know if you guys remember the Springs brothers that played at one of them played. Timmy Springs played at Southside, I think. And anyway, Doug White was telling me this story that it was like in could be a penalty on Southside, but they were running plays and the one kid would hand the ball off to the other brother and he'd run for all the touchdowns. So finally, the other Springs brother got tired of handing the ball off, so he handed the ball off and then he tackled his brother.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that.
This is boys' club action, actually.
Yeah, it had to be.
Webb on the carry.
Not much.
Cavalier on the stop.
That's Calderera again.
Well, he's had a night tonight.
He's a pretty good ball player.
Yeah, we called his name several times last year. He's second down, going to lose a yard or two on the play. Actually, I spot him back to the line. Scrimmage will be 2nd and 15. Not sure what that penalty was. Did they give us for a delay?
Delay game. I can't believe when you come out and start the second half, you
Before the first play.
You got to pay attention to you.
Northside going to come with a blitz.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be a flag.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about 3 of them?
Yeah, and that son, to be honest with you, if that kid, he jumped up like he had done something and he ought to be out of the game.
Yeah, he did something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's coming out.
And that's uncalled for.
Yeah, you got to at least talk to him now. I mean,
I say he was coming out. I don't think he did.
pulled somebody else.
Now my question is, will that be an automatic first down for the Mavs?
That's Hunter Hansen. He played at Chaffin.
So they don't get the down back either.
No, it's dead ball, but
at least you got a makeable third down.
I
6, ball spot, 37-yard line.
Those are the kind of plays you look at, though, guys, that give you a chance.
Yeah, I know. But to me, that should. I always thought those should be an automatic first down.
I did too.
But they're not. Not in high school. They're not.
Ball's going to be tipped away. And Northside coming with a little bit of heat.
Yeah, they're sending them now where they've saying sit back.
14, Elijah Rogers, 4th down. Number 1, Cameron Massey back deep to
Jaden
receive.
Webb will punt the ball away as Cam Massey goes back deep for Northside.
Number 15,
First punt of the night for the Mavs.
for the Mavericks.
You can kind of see what Northside's game plan is here in the second half. Going to bring the heat. Which, as you say, Coach, should open up that middle. It's going to be a returnable ball for Massey. There's a nice block off the corner, and they're going to get him for a side block, actually. It's good defense over there, guys.
Massey on the return.
Who's 47?
Flags on the play.
No, Southside?
Yeah.
Little.
Alex Little.
Keith, here's your score update.
He's the
Greenwood 70, Bentonville West 35. Just started the 4th quarter.
That's not a shocker.
No.
I'm not sure. I think West may be down, too, a little bit this year.
Alex is their deep snapper. That's all he does. And there's You mark off, if they're at to figure out what they're doing, it's a dead ball foul. If they're going to call the 15-yard penalty or the personal foul on Little for coming up and pushing him from behind after the play.
I think the penalty was going to be on the block.
It's going to be a holding call or illegal block, but there's two penalties. One's a dead ball foul. Now I didn't see him throw a hat or another flag, so I really don't know.
Now, Keith,
We'll
is this the first official debate of the season?
After that, we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on Southside. That will be a 15-yard penalty. Result, first down.
Go get it at the 27 anyway. Or the 28. Anyway,
I tell you what, they do stuff like that, guys. Old Beaumont might have to bring out some more entertainment to keep everybody interested while they figure out what they want to do.
That was just not very smart.
I did like the
No, it was not.
The Jeopardy music playing. That was nice.
Yeah.
It'll be 1st and 10 Northside. Ball spotted at their own 33-yard line.
Like I say, when you get to this, these two teams, they don't like each other on the field. I mean, a lot of them are friends outside, but it's just
they play each
Not
other.
during this game.
Yeah, they got the ball. I think Blaylock said it was at the 33. It's actually at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Here's a handoff to the running back, and that's Youngblood. Youngblood makes a man miss, makes a nice run, and will get across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 1.
Y'all talking about how fast that Cam Massey is. I'll tell you what, that Jaden Youngblood is one of the fastest kids I ever had.
On the stop for the Mavericks.
Well, that was the first down.
Northside, ball spotted.
That was not a first down.
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. When officials will mark it nearest the yard marker, I promise.
Yeah, he was a yard short of the first down. But you're in that situation, I'm not sure it matters. They're going to lose here. Let's see where they spot him at the 41-yard line. Good pursuit by Southside. There's Joe Kincannon over there for the Mavs, along with, I believe that's Daniel Morales.
Joseph Kincannon and let's talk about how good young men they are. And Lee Prince Jr., the third, both of them been nominated to be part of the new program through FCA. It's called the Elite, and it's about their character and just the type of kids they are. And they were both nominated. Coach Adams nominated Lee, and Coach Dameron nominated Joseph, and he wanted to try to get a second person in there. I don't know, and it's Peyton Zimmerman.
Daniel Morales, along with Peyton Zimmerman, come up, make the stop. A big play for Southside. Opportunity here, 3rd down, 3rd and 8 for the Grizzlies. I'm not sure. I think that may be a new quarterback in there for Northside.
Yes.
Drew Jackson wants to throw the ball. He's got an open receiver, and looks like they got him a bit short of the first down.
But look where he marked it at.
Yeah, I know.
Look where they went up there and stepped. They went to the nearest yard line.
Quarterback complete to number 1, Cam Massey.
Short.
They left it short that time, though.
Johnson on the stop brings up 4th and inches for Northside.
But if you watch a junior high or like a middle school game or a JV game, just look at all the different marks they do. Now high school's a little bit different. They'll be pretty close to where it's at, but those games they're going to mark it to the nearest. Yeah, and you don't ever see measurements anymore.
Play clock's down to 0. Okay.
They ain't started.
Get the handoff. He'll have the first down. Youngblood gets the first down to midfield.
Morales and Parkinson on the stop.
Got Don Parkinson out there. Morales playing a good ball game tonight for the Mavs. 1st and 10 right at midfield. 7:44 to go here, 3rd
Maybe the Northside quarterback got hurt on that last play he had to run.
Yeah, because he was playing good.
Yeah, he scrambled on that last run, and he kind of came up. He kind of looked like he pulled up. I don't know, maybe he got hurt.
Well, he's about to come back in the ball game, it looked like. Yeah, they had him on the sideline. He's going to come in, and they bring him back out. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that, too, because Jackson's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Northside team has some very good skill players.
Yes, they do.
I'll try to take the ball outside. And I'll tell you what, there's big old Ethan Dunn right there. Going to lose a little bit of yardage right there. Also on the play for the Mavs is Braxton Youngblood. Brings up third down, and let's call it a long 6.
Braxton didn't play last year. He came back out this year, and big addition for him. He moved in here from somewhere in Oklahoma, his 9th grade year, and
that's Massey, and Massey's going to take it to the house. And Coach, exactly what you were saying is you're giving them too much space, and easy pitch and catch right there.
Jackson's number 1, Cam Massey.
Cramp monster.
that's an embarrassment monster.
That kind of goes back to the story of the old cowboy days. Remember old Cliff Harris? If he'd get beat on a play, he'd always point at somebody else like it was their fault. But you guys were talking about that earlier, though, with Massey. I mean, it's a tough call if you come press him on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a tough hold right there, but if you don't, I mean, you better close quick. When that ball's in the air, you need to be closing.
Signed up to support all of Northside athletics.
I believe that's Peyton Zimmerman.
Yeah. Well, he's been playing both ways, so, I'm sure that's.
Number 20, Jalen Chavez into attempt the extra.
But he wasn't the initial one to make that missed the tackle. It was a cornerback.
Smacks Chavez in for the extra point. I think he hit the no good.
Somebody tipped it. Somebody.
Got a paw up.
Who's that?
Southside Mavericks 20.
Is that Dunn that tipped it?
32, I think it was.
He broke in through the line and tipped it.
Okay, Coach, we've seen what Northside is doing defensively. They're bringing the heat. If you're Southside,
they're not going to give him time to sit back here and find open receiver. So
you're just going to have to try to maybe hit some quick hitters here.
Hit the screen.
Well, they tried to throw the screen and they tipped it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I say go right back to it. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Nice drive for the Grizzlies. They went 6 plays, 62 yards, a 43-yard touchdown pass from Jackson to Cam Massey. Massey's second touchdown of the ball game. Massey's going to be one of the top receivers in the 7A West this year, no doubt. Going to try an onside kick. Southside gets it. A good job of reacting to that for the Mavs. That was Layden Rowe jumping up, making the play.
They're high on Layden Rowe. He's a sophomore. He played linebacker at Chaffin last year. He was one of their better players.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a game tonight.
What do you guys think of that, though? Onside kick, try to catch him with something like that. I mean, that you gave Southside great field position here. Maybe feel good about the way your defense is playing now.
I always like the onside kick.
I think if you're going to do it, you want to do it when it's going to be a surprise, and that was definitely a surprise.
But,
Here's a keeper by Forsgren. I'll tell you what, if he gets past that first guy, I think that was Warren making the play.
And he's such a strong young man. He's, he just arm tackled him.
Yeah, if he gets past him, he's going to make a nice run on that.
Malachi's a very good linebacker. They got two good linebackers with him and
Calderera. Yeah, you got probably two of the best linebackers in the 7A West this year, obviously. Here's a handoff to Webb. Not much there.
Webb on the carry.
Looks like Northside's made some adjustments with their line.
Mm-hmm.
Big play here for Southside.
Whitaker on the stop for Northside.
Be third down, 3rd and 8 for the Mavs. Again, we've got 5:13 to go here in the third period. Southside trails 27-20. What's been a very exciting ball game. Southside fell down early, 21-zip, came back to make it 21-20. Northside with a Cam Massey touchdown here in the third period to increase the lead back up to 7.
Northside's going to send them.
Mm-hmm.
Here they come. They're going to set the screen up and didn't have much blocking. Didn't really have time to get the blockers out there.
Number 44, Lucas Calderera, the first defender.
That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, got Jaden Webb down on the play.
Up.
I don't know if it's cramped or his knee because he was kind of grabbing.
Yeah.
Injury timeout. If you've got a ticket and you're in the drawing for the PlayStation 5 game console, get your ticket ready. We'll announce it shortly.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, your defense is going to have to step up here and get a stop or two and till the offense can kind of figure out some of this. And, you almost got to think, guys, don't you think at some point Southside maybe try to spot that hot receiver, maybe getting that press coverage and maybe try to get a quick out or something?
Well, they have it with the sophomore quarterback. I don't know what kind of arm he has, but evidently they got confident. Hey, the passes he's thrown so far have been really good.
Yeah.
They've been the short, intermediate passes, and when you got receivers out there that can take it to the house, especially when you throw it to number 1.
And Dallas De La Souce will come in and kick for the Mavs.
Yeah.
So if Jaden Webb's okay, I'll tell you what, he's kind of the X factor on this team right now.
Correct. De La Souce I think he's a sophomore.
Yeah, if he's like his brother, we're in good shape the next 3 years. Here's a kick. It's a low-line drive kick that takes a bounce and going to go inside the 10-yard line. A good job. Nice touch there.
I think that's what he meant to do right there.
Going to down that thing at the 1-yard line, guys.
Inside. Love it. Well, I think to coach's point, they're going to spot that thing right on the 1. No measurements.
They're going to ask a question, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to move it to the 20. Maybe not. No, he's got. I was worried about a lot. He backed up to it with his feet.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
His feet was on the goal line or pretty close to it, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, and my thing is, what good is that extra 6 inches to take that chance? Such a pretty kick.
Right.
Drew Jackson will check back in at quarterback.
You might want to stack 3 over number 1 right now.
Well, I'm going to tell
3
you,
players.
other than,
Youngblood will dive forward, maybe about 2 yards.
on that defensive, on the defense.
It's Maria Johnson on the tackle. Got another injured Mav.
Stopped by the interior of Southside's defensive line.
That's bigger on number 56 for Southside.
That's Josh Chung. No, that's Tyrone Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer's had a good ball game tonight.
Now he's a senior, and Peyton Perez is a senior. Dominic's a senior. Joseph's a senior. And that's it. There's 4 seniors on that defense. The rest of them. And then they bring in Josh Chung, who's a junior. And so, pretty much that's a young group.
He's second down, 2nd and 9 for the Grizzlies. They spotted the ball actually at the 2-yard line. What's a little tougher handling that ball down there? They want to throw the ball here. We'll throw the ball out, and it's going to be intercepted.
Jackson's pass intercepted.
Lee Prince.
Lee Prince Jr.
Prince.
And we've got a
Flag after the play.
God, we is just not. We neither team is.
Massey
That's
on
just.
the tackle.
Of course, that's probably a post play, so it'll be probably 15 on Southside from there.
I don't know if it's double fouls or.
Joseph's happy about it.
Yeah.
See what the call's going to be. I didn't see it, guys. I was watching the
Yeah,
interception.
me too. I just looked up and saw some bodies flying, some flags going with them.
See what they're going to call here. I'll give this crew credit, though, Doug. They've done a good job, but they're going to make sure they get the right call.
You know who the officials are?
Do not.
The winner of the PTA T-shirt is Courtney Halsey.
You'll find out with me and Terrell, it's probably best us not know who they are.
I would assume they were from out of town.
I think they were. I didn't recognize any of the guys coming out. I saw Lynn Parnell down there.
On Northside. After this is to go, where's that?
After distance, oh, it's almost.
Marking inside the 15-yard line.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what, too, guys, you got to go back to those missed opportunities, too, in the first half for the Mavs.
Gosh, I know.
Well, and you know, you were talking about it earlier. How big would that extra point have been now?
Well, the good thing was they missed their last one, too, yeah.
But
So
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah.
the way it's going back and forth, you almost wish you had that 1 point.
Sure.
It might be the difference in the whole thing.
Webb's back in the game.
Southside going two receivers either side. Forsgren wants to throw the end zone, throws, touchdown Southside!
Third touchdown for that guy. Wow.
Wilson Key on the touchdown.
Okay, that was basically, you always hear them talk about back shoulder throw.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a back shoulder throw. Whether he intended to do it or not, but,
I don't know if I could call it a back shoulder fade, but it was definitely a back
Yeah.
shoulder throw.
Yeah.
Guys, are we having fun tonight?
Oh, yeah.
It's getting better.
Hernandez to attempt the extra point for the Mavericks.
They're actually working on Bowers down here. Looks like he may have a
Missing
cramp.
somebody, guys.
Yeah. See, the kick is up. The kick is good. I'm going to tell you what, guys. The holder, I'm trying to get the number.
Saved it.
We only had 10 guys out there, guys. There
laundry.
wasn't enough guys on the line of scrimmage. And they're going to talk. Yeah. See,
I hate that you're right, Coach, but good call.
Well, when your up man knows who's in front of him,
You're out, right.
and he's pointing that he's not there, that's a good indicator that somebody might be missing. Wasn't a very good snap. But,
Yeah, this will be a little more of a challenge for him right here.
I don't think he uses a T because he's a soccer player, and so.
I'm trying to think, guys, is that holder, is that 28 Connor McDonald?
That's who I've had all along.
Guys, he did a great job of getting that ball
getting
down.
yeah.
He did, and they made it.
But Rodrigo, no, he doesn't use a T, so. That's a good snap there.
Mm-hmm.
Extra point is good.
No harm, no foul.
With 3:44 remaining in the third quarter.
We're all tied up.
Fellas, that's the way to do it. One play, 15-yard drive for the Mavs to tie this up.
Now, you asked a while ago, how would Blake would respond. Now you got a sophomore quarterback. How will he respond throwing the pick? But it was one of those deals. You're backed up the end zone. It's kind of like a punt, but they had the foul, and so that gave them down on the 50. Short distance to go.
Well, that's an interesting place to throw a 50-50 ball. You know it.
Yeah, it is. But,
if it had been a little bit better, though, it's probably another 6 points for them,
I take my 50-50 chances with Cam Massey.
Yeah, that's it.
But I think he's better at just throwing a short pass.
Yes,
And let
right.
him run.
Yeah, that's the thing. His legs are going to do it.
David Linneman, please report to the ambulance.
Guys, I was looking down on the field earlier, and they had Bowers down on the ground, and they had the roller on his back. Like would that be maybe a cramp or
Could be
something?
cramps,
Trying to
yeah.
work it out. So let's see.
I really think he got hurt on that last play.
Yeah, could be pulled muscle too.
Well, he was trying to come in. Looked like he was trying to come in the ball game on the first series. Here's a kick. It'll be a nice kick that's going to go back into the end zone. Good job. Northside will start this drive on their 20-yard line.
First and 10 Northside.
No, I'm sorry.
On the 20-yard line.
See what they come back with if Jackson or Bowers comes in the ball game. Well, Bowers is going to come back in the ball game.
I don't think he's much of a runner because I haven't seen him run yet.
It's Coven in the backfield for Grizzlies. Got 3:44 to go here in the third period. Here's a handoff to Coven. They get him in the backfield. They'll get him back behind the line of scrimmage about 4 yards back.
Coven on the carry.
Dominic's cramping up again.
Trying to figure
Oh,
that
no,
out.
that's not Dominic.
No, that's not Dominic. I think that's 55 for
Daniel
Southside.
Morales.
Morales. Yeah.
Morales has had a good ball game tonight, guys.
He's been in a lot of them.
We were discussing about kids cramping up last night about in one of the games I was a part of, and then they were just saying, is that because of lack of work, or the coaches are not working them hard enough, and we don't practice have two-a-days anymore, and these kids spend so much time inside.
Hey, guys, can we shut the door in here by chance? We've got a coach that's kind of getting out of line. Sorry, Coach, didn't mean to interrupt. I wasn't talking about you, Coach. I just didn't want to. I think we get fined for all the cuss words that go off on the air.
No,
So
that's not going to happen.
I think I know who it might be, but I'm not going to say. So anyway, I'll tell you what, guys, this is a big series here for Southside.
Oh, that's Chad. That's funny.
We had that one time, guys. We were doing a game. I think it was in Bentonville or somewhere.
Razorback Stadium.
Well, we did a game in Bentonville too, and I think my wife went over there, and she was a teacher, and she went over there and embarrassed me and went over and told them that you might want to calm down with their language a little bit. But
I didn't think you got embarrassed, Keith.
no, not really. No, funny thing, guys, the only one we really had to get onto one time was Robbie Jones. They had him up next to us. He was going off, and he was calling. He wasn't cussing or anything, but he was calling players, what they could or couldn't do, and it had Tommy Kraft back there. Boy, what a great job defense for Southside.
Done again, baby.
Again.
Ethan Dunn.
Guys everywhere.
I have a funny story about Coach Jones. I was upstairs at old Springdale Field, and we were up on top of the press box.
Oh, bless you.
and Jones, I'm standing right next to him, and the next thing you had to go down 2 ladders just to get down to the ball field. And then you had to go underneath and what have you. And I mean, within seconds, he was from up there. I thought he teleported. We used to kid him about that. I've never seen anybody get down to the field faster than that. And
That was a good play for Southside again. That was number 7 over there for the Mavs, Jordan McDaniel. I'll tell you what, guys, about a split second more, that's 7 points the other way.
Yeah. Well, you know the difference between this year and last year, Keith, is last year we would have thought they had us right where they wanted us. 3rd and 8.
Jordan McDaniel played at Chaffin in the 7th grade, moved to Conway. He just moved here this summer. A good kid. He didn't want to play football. He wanted to play basketball, but he moved to Conway, and then he moved back this past year. That's good. Good job.
Didn't like being called a wampus cat.
I guess not. Short punt, short regular.
Oh, takes a Southside bounce. We'll go out the 37-yard line. Yeah, that brings up another subject we always talk about, guys, when we look for things to talk about is when I was working with Buzz Sawyer, I made Buzz Sawyer look it up one time to see what a wampus cat actually is.
Yeah.
Or a Nittany lion or a wampus cat.
Yeah.
First and 10, Southside, ball spotted at the Northside.
I'll just say this, guys, that wasn't a good combination, Keith Evans and Buzz Sawyer.
I don't know. I figured y'all had some pretty good times.
We had some very good times. I'll tell you what, guys, this game's turning quick.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see Jaden Webb back in the ball game for the Mavs. Trip set wide side of the field. See what Northside wants to do here, guys. Here's a keeper by Forsgren's going to bounce it outside and going to get positive yardage.
Pretty read.
Yeah.
Ran out of bounds on number 20, Jalen Chavez, and number 5, Trey Taylor. Gain of 5 brings up second 5.
Spot him at the 32-yard line, bring up second down, 2nd and 5 for the Mavs.
Only thing about different, Blake is he's a pretty good runner, but he doesn't have the speed that Carter Zimmerman.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's just making that good read,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
If you can make that read, I mean, it's one less guy you got to worry about.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 5 for the Mavs. Here's a handoff to Jaden Webb. Boy, I tell you what, they did a great job on that offensive line. I look at big old number 63 there, Mark Rodriguez. They go behind him off that guard and makes a nice gain for the Mavs. Be 3rd and 1 for the Mavs.
You know, Beaumont was right about them had to replace every, but now Nick Arnold started for them last year, and he's the only returning starter that they had back. But, yeah, they lost a lot last year from that offensive line.
But you're right, Stewart does a great job with these kids.
Yes.
And I give Key a lot of credit, too, Coach Justin Key, the job he does with his quarterbacks.
Oh, gosh.
Here's a keeper by Forsgren. What a great call. He's going to get inside the 25. Will be run out of bounds as he gets the first down.
Number 20, Jalen Chavez.
I'll tell you, the Chavez brothers like to try to get in the face of the players a little bit. They
Well,
need to.
they're a lot of these kids they play. You know, a lot of these guys they played with them.
They know each other.
They know them real well.
But you're going to get yourself in trouble if you're not careful.
Yeah, I know.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. I love the play calling on this series. They'll bring Key in motion. Here's a handoff off the left side. Boy, there's a nice move, and he's going to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Southside!
Touchdown.
Jaden Webb. What a move, guys.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad to
he
see
went
him
low
in
to
there.
try to hit him, and tackle him low, and he just kind of skipped over him. And good job. Good job.
Glad to see him get
Yeah.
in the end zone.
Well, fellas, the one thing I was really worried about this year was the fact that I was worried about our running game. I tell you, it's been good tonight.
I told you, I thought that was going to be a key. I knew passing was going to be a big part of it, but that running game, that's going to be huge all year.
There it is again, Coach. I think we were going to be one short again. Ball is down. Your kick is up.
Well, Southside, that's how we used to run our kick formation. They put 4 on one side, and then you had to, your guard and actually in on one side. Then you put 2 wingmen on the same side, and mainly because I used to be able to run. I liked it like that because I used to be able to run different fakes out of it and so forth, and so. I mean, it's just 6 in one hand, half a dozen the other, whatever you like and whatever preference. I'm sure I stole it off someone, So.
You got to take credit for it, Coach.
No, I don't take too much credit for anything. See, most coaches steal stuff from other coaches. I promise you.
Back deep to receive for Northside, Damani Brock.
And it always helps when you have good players.
Number 26.
It's amazing how that works on any level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 83, Rodrigo Hernandez, to kick off for the Mavericks.
It's a little problem tonight setting that up on the tee. Well, gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun tonight. Southside really coming back. You know, Northside came out, changed that defense up a little bit. And here's a kick, and it's going to be another good kick. It's going back and into the end zone.
Good job, Rodrigo. Jordan.
Hernandez.
Getting a little chippy.
It'll be first and 10 Northside. Ball across the 20-yard line.
And, you know, it's just crazy, though, because I think that guy that he pushed down there on the ground, that I'm sure he did something first. It's usually always the retaliation is the one that gets caught.
Takes two to tango.
Official did a good job because there wasn't much, and he just
Well, it looked like the guy on the ground was maybe getting the cleats up a little bit, and the other guy didn't like it. And, you know, I go back to, guys, you can only call so many of these.
Oh, that's true.
The same personal fouls and stuff. And, you know, it's a rivalry game. And for the most part, I think the kids on both sides have done a great job. Here's a nice run by Youngblood, going to get about 5 yards.
Number 6, Jaden Youngblood on the carry.
Joe Kincannon over there for Southside, along with
Cannon on the stop.
Tamaria Johnson.
Second 5, ball spotted at the 25.
Second down, 2nd and 5. Bowers back in the ball game for Northside. Down to 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. It's been a fun game, guys. Here's another handoff, and that's Youngblood. He's going to be hitting. There's Ethan Dunn. Stuffing the play up again, but he had a lot of help by his inside interior guys were there to make the play too, along with Dominic Parkinson for the Mavs. Third down, 3rd and 3, big play here. Southside get off the field again and keep that momentum going. Guys, I'll say this for Southside, really, from what you guys have seen. Obviously, if you can eliminate the big play, I think this defense is going to be hard to drive on.
Right there.
And he gave the outside containment to Massey, and they'll get him down across midfield.
I honestly, I would almost run that play. Almost, at least one out of every 3 times.
Yep.
Because Southside gives him too much room when they respect his speed, and so.
Well, I don't know that you've really seen, and maybe he's got the arm to do it, but I'm not really seeing Bowers show that ability. You know, now if it was Moody quarterback, and definitely you play off.
Yeah.
Bowers is a good quarterback, but we haven't seen really what type of arm strength he really has.
He came from Fayetteville because I think
Move in?
Yes. He moved in from Fayetteville. I think the reason why he moved down here is because Barry Odom's son moved back to Fayetteville and became the quarterback, and so.
So going to the fourth quarter, Southside leads 34-27, and I'll tell you what, this has been a great ball game tonight. And if you're Northside, you got to be kind of scratching your head a bit. They jumped out to a quick 21-zip lead, but give credit to this Southside team, man. There's no quitting these guys.
No, it's
Only time I really saw any head hanging was when we got down 21-zip, and ever since then, the only real head hanging I've seen is on the north side.
You got to say this, Coach, no matter, obviously we don't know how the game's going to end by any means, but you got to feel good coming out of this ball game with the effort that the Mavs have given and the things they've been able to do tonight to stay in the ball game, and you see a lot of positives from this team. The first down, here's a handoff that will get him for about maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. Coven on the carry. Khalil Coven. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd, and actually giving him, looks like 1 yard. He's 2nd down, 2nd, 9 for the Grizzlies. Just starting the fourth quarter here, 11:41 to go in the ball game.
Well, Southside's not going to face anybody probably that has
this kind of speed.
The overall team speed. It may be, I guess maybe the Little Rock schools, I don't know.
Here's a snap. Bowers wants to throw. We'll throw it out to Massey. He has a block in front. Southside's able to get there, but he's going to get down to about the 40-yard line where Presley Chitwood there for the Mavs. Along with Joe Kincannon, brings up third down, third, about 2 for the Grizzlies.
Third and 2 for Northside. Ball spotted the south side, 40-yard line.
Interesting formation for Northside. They'll go with the stack formation either side. Now we've got a movement. Let's see. This is going to be an interesting call here.
It's on them.
Well, it's a big call right there. It changes the whole strategy of what you're going to do.
I'm glad to see Chitwood get involved in the game. I guess he's in there replacing Zimmerman.
Third and 7, ball spotted at the 45-yard line.
Has Zimmerman come back in the ball game? Have y'all seen
I
him?
haven't seen him.
Yeah. Bring up third down, third and 7 for the Grizzlies.
You know, you're stack formation and you're still in this right here. I mean, it's 5 yards every time they run it.
Well, and Perez has been in on both of those tackles out here on the sideline, playing from DN. That's one thing is like at least we're working them back to the middle.
Fellas, big play here in the ball game. Fourth down, 4th and 2 for the Grizzlies. See what they want to do here.
Make them jump again.
You know, you really think about the north side, though, as far as offensively, it's really been Massey that's been the one that's on the offensive side for receivers. Here's a handoff, and he's not going to get it. There's big O. I believe that's Ethan Dunn.
Yes, it is.
Fellas, I'll make this comment right now. You don't be going sideline to sideline with Ethan Dunn when he hits you.
No.
Got another Maverick coming off him.
And the thing about it, Ethan's got, he's got decent speed.
Yeah, he does.
He could be probably a really good a college type linebacker if he had height, and he doesn't have height. You know, he's probably 5'11", but gosh, he's strong and he's fast, and
he plays that middle good.
Yeah, he does.
He plays like he's 6'6".
He reminds me a lot of Nick Marsh.
Yeah.
A lot like him, and just a hard-nosed kid. Big series here for the Mavs. They'll start this drive when they're on the 40-yard line.
Good read.
First one on the keeper.
Northside doing a good job, though, really. It looks like they're going to get a little bit more yardage. That's Raekwon Whitaker making the play for Northside. Brings up second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. We've got 9:45 to go here in the ball game.
Well, they're just able to recover a lot quicker because of their speed.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs.
I think they've done a good job at tackling, too, because usually, Southside has not run through any. There's the hold.
First one's pass, incomplete. Intended for Wasinger, flag on the play.
That's Graydon Wassinger, intended receiver. And he came back. He did a good job. What you want your receivers to do is come back to the quarterback. He did a good job on the play. Let's see what the penalty is going to be.
It's holding.
See what Northside wants to do here.
It's they might decline it.
Holding, number 68 on the offense. The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
You know, knock on wood, though, Southside for the most part has been penalty-free tonight.
Yeah. Nick's been noted. He tries to get away with holding a little bit. He'll grab hold of you and.
2nd and 18 after the penalty. Ball spotted at the.
Second down, 2nd and 17 for the Mavs. As you say, Coach, you want to just try to get at least half of it back, so give your chance a very makeable third down. Northside going to come with the heat. Going to throw the ball, and that's a nice completion over there.
Great play by that defensive man, too.
Going to have to get out the replacement chains.
That was Sebastian Lute, a sophomore, on the catch for Southside.
It'll be 3rd and 10, ball spotted at the 40-yard line.
And that might have been 19 Lowermore.
I think it was Barry.
Tell you what, you'd like to get Zimmerman back in the ball game. You just hope that hopefully it's just a cramp with him. Again, third down for the Mavs, 3rd and 10. Not sure what the holdup is here.
They broke the chains. I don't know.
Well, if you got no change, you got no game, right?
Yeah, it's a lot tougher. All right, here's your little mid-play trivia for you. Wassinger, I tell you what, that guy's a pretty good little golfer.
He did a smart move, too, though, coming back for the ball.
Yeah, I did.
And his dad out of Hartsgrove.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think he was they had a tournament up in Fayetteville this last week, and I think he was the top scorer.
Well, guys, I'm not going to talk golf with you guys. You guys are a couple of ringers in here. And Keith Evans can tell you right now, if Keith Evans hit a driver 100 yards, he'd be happy.
I always say I'm a cart path golfer. I like to hit the ball.
Get that roll on the cart path?
But I like to keep the ball over by the cart path. That way, even if it rains, I just don't have to walk very far.
That's what I do when I don't hit very far, so I can go up and find my ball.
Now, there is an advantage to be able to hit it where you can go find it the next
right.
I guess.
shot, yeah.
I always laugh, too. I think about Johnny Bench saying one time that it was easier to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball than it was a ball on a tee. And I'm telling you what, at my age now, I couldn't even come close to either one of them.
Well, nowadays in time, pitchers don't throw 90, they throw 100.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he brought his name up a couple times. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how fast Moody's going to be throwing. I think he was throwing 92 as a freshman.
Well, who was that kid last year? It was Matlock. I'm assuming that was Donnie Matlock's grandson, maybe. That was pitching. He's had a pretty good arm for Northside last year.
Yeah, he had a couple of really good games toward the end of the season.
Folks, remember you can get on the Maverick Sports Network and catch every Southside game on there. If you can't make it to the game, catch it on there and watch us. And it's kind of a whole new deal here for the Maverick Network. We're going to have basketball games, and they've got volleyball games. And I need to get you guys to set up there with Mr. Piper. He'll get you guys set up to do a volleyball game. Buzz did one the other night.
How'd that go for you?
Well, Buzz, he finally got Coach Williams up there to talk a little bit. You get Jeff up there, and Jeff's got a lot to say.
There you go. Good strategy.
You ever listen to any of his podcasts? They're hilarious.
Yeah. They had Musselman on there last year, I believe it was. I'll tell you what, that was he was detailing everything out really good. And, I guess Bray Cook does it. Bray Cook's actually a coach at Pea Ridge.
Yeah.
Not sure what the holdup is here.
They broke the chain.
Yeah, they're still working on finding some replacement chains over there.
Do you not keep a spare set of chains?
I thought you did. Well, if I remember right, these are like safety chains or something nowadays, so it's a little bit more difficult, I think, to have a spare set on the sideline.
Chains are expensive.
Yes, sir.
They don't do that. What was that thing they used to have that was in the USFL a long time ago? They called it the Dicker rod, wasn't it? Something where they were able to measure with. You guys remember that at all?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know that I've watched as much USFL as you, Keith.
Well, this is the old USFL a long time ago. Forgive me, guys. It's 10:30.
Bedtime.
Is it really?
Again, we've got 9:14 to go here to kind of set the game up. It's 9:14 to go here. Southside leads 34-27. Been a very good ball game tonight as Northside jumped out to a 21-zip lead. Southside comes back, makes it 21-20 at half. Northside gets the ball in the second half, goes down, gets a touchdown to go ahead 27-20. Southside 2 touchdowns later. They lead by 7 with 9:14 to go here. And again, guys, I'm just very impressed with what I'm seeing from Southside. And I want to give a shout-out to, fellas, while we got a little bit of time here. The folks that put this together for us, Mason Piper's up here tonight. They started a broadcasting class and stuff. And Angie Banda is one of our camera ladies. Stephanie Gomez is one of our camera ladies, too. And Mina Candil, I'm going to give her credit as our producer. Did I say that right, Mina? Okay.
Awesome.
And they've done a great job. I mean, it's just, and that's the best thing about this that we have going for us now is we have all these young people in here. They do a great job with everything. And, you know, you can't say enough about they keep people like me. I used to have to do radio, guys, and it was 50-50 if we were going to ever make it on the air because I'm not a magician by any means as far as understanding equipment. And these folks have it down.
I don't know if you heard them talking earlier, but they said they might be game to do a little sideline reporting, a little coaching show. I mean,
that'd be okay. If we get some people that want to do some interviews, we'd love to get some people involved in it because that's what they've got going at Southside's this broadcasting class. Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Mavs. 9:14 to go here in the ball game. You got Wynn in the backfield. Trip set wide side of the field. Northside may come with a blitz here. Look like they may want to come off the corner.
They're just sending 4. He's wide. He's an outside backer. They're sending.
Something didn't work on that play.
Bad
snap infraction.
Snap infraction.
Make it a little bit tougher for the Mavs.
Yeah,
after the penalty, it'll be 3rd and 15 for Southside. Ball spot at their own 35-yard line.
They've had the holding and they've had this, so.
Making a 3rd down, 3rd and 15.
They look, they're playing press coverage up there on.
It's Kincannon up top, isn't it? Yeah. Southside going to throw the ball down. It's going to be intercepted. It actually looked like Key had a chance to catch it. It went through his hands.
That's important. It did go right through his hands.
Northside now will take over on their 44-yard line. Now, Coach Beaumont wants 7 overtimes tonight, guys.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's something about selling those hot dogs. I don't know what that's about.
You know, a lot of times I'll go to Hot Springs on a Saturday morning, go play golf, and get up real early. I'm glad I'm not doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, Bauer's still at quarterback. Youngblood in the backfield. They want to throw out, and weird call there. They try to get the ball out and basically just threw the ball away. That was Jaden Foster, the closest Grizzly to the football. Mavs did a pretty good job of coming up on that press coverage. I believe it was
Dwight Johnson.
Yeah, Dwight Johnson coming up.
Affected the timing of that whole thing.
Yep.
Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. 9:03 to go here in the ball game. Bowers does, to me, guys, doesn't look as comfortable in that pocket as he did earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, he looks like he's rushing it a little bit. I agree.
He might. I'm telling you, he probably got hurt a little bit back in the first half, and
it's affecting that throw.
Yeah, could
release.
Bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Zero help over the top over here.
Got to find out where number 1's at.
Always.
Southside going to put some heat on, and there he is, and the ball's overthrown. Joe Kincannon on the coverage for the Mavs will bring up 4th down.
He had a step.
Yeah, he did.
The pressure, he rushed that throw a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
It was a good pass. Yeah, left his hand
fly a little
Guys,
bit.
I'll tell you what I've seen, though, from Northside tonight, and I think you're going to see a lot of the teams in the 7A West do this. They're going to double down on Massey because he really has been the one receiver that you got a key on for Northside.
Yeah.
In punting position, number 14.
And look who snaps for him.
Is that Massey snapping the ball? Yeah.
Wilson Key.
Wilson Key back deep for the Mavs. Well, you need one of those 8-minute drives, fellas.
He snapped as an 8th grader for us.
Well, you can get a long ways doing that. I mean, you look at Brett Good, what happened to him.
Kidding.
Pretty ball.
It's going to be a shank kick, and that's one
Watch out, everybody.
Shoot. Southside touched the ball. I'll tell you, boy, Southside's made enough mistakes here in the second half, and boy, that's a big one right there, guys.
Flag after the play.
See what the flag's going to be. That was a late flag.
Dead ball. I think they're getting somebody for talking.
Yeah. Jordan McDaniel. You know, that's unfortunate for him because he hadn't played a lot of football, and, he doesn't, that's
Well, the problem with the whole thing, guys, was the fact that the ball was a
Such a
shank,
bad-
and that's
bad
where
kick.
that happens
Yes,
a lot of
it
times
does.
because you're turning around trying to block somebody.
and then it ends up right in your lap, and that's your
Sure.
instincts to grab it.
Exactly.
Sideline warning on Northside. Result of the play.
Oh.
Sideline warning against Northside. It will bring up 1st and 10 for them at the Southside 32-yard line.
I tell you, both teams are going to come into this. Whoever wins this or loses this ball game tonight's going to be kicking themselves.
Well, because both of them have opportunities. And,
Yes. Northside gets that big lead to start the ball game, and then Southside's had last 2 possessions. They've had 2 turnovers, so defense stepping up big so far, though. Hopefully they'll get another stop here. Bowers at quarterback, Youngblood in the backfield.
That's motion.
There's a handoff to Youngblood. There's McDaniel making the play.
Youngblood on the carry.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 9 for the Grizzlies.
Well, I know he can move his feet, but he was leaning forward.
Yeah, you can't lean.
He can't lean.
Big series here if Southside can get a stop. Obviously, guys, I think this is 4-down territory for Northside.
Yeah, no doubt. They can keep him out of the end zone here.
It's huge.
And 8:13 to go in the ball game. There's a hold, and they're going to get it. They got it.
See,
Yeah, that was big old number 92 for Southside. Peyton Perez coming in there. And you're going to hold somebody, don't do it in front of the referee.
No, not for that long.
That'll bring it back. Definitely got to take this penalty.
Peyton's had a good game. Like I say, I said earlier that Southside's been waiting for that light to come on for him for the last couple of years, and he just couldn't get him going. And he told me earlier this year I was at Southside for practice or something, and he had told me, "It's coach, it's going to be different this year. I'm going to have a good year. I'm ready."
19, ball across the 41-yard
Good for
line.
you.
Another young man that's had a good game, too, is Morales. That's played well out there tonight. And obviously Ethan Dunn, what he's done tonight. Going to run the ball. Get him at about the 39-yard line. We'll get 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and about 16.
Number 8, Warren Bijou on the
Guys,
carry.
a call like that, I'm assuming you're doing that probably to try to gain 5 or 6 yards to put yourself in position.
Correct.
Brings up 3rd and 17, ball across the 39-yard line.
Southside going to drop back, going to rush 3. Here comes the heat, and they're going to get him in the backfield. Big old number 92 for Southside, Peyton Perez.
Yeah.
By Perez.
They got him on a little stunt right there. Actually, Jaden Youngblood was up there to block, and the end, he did a little stunt to the inside, and he came free. I don't think anybody touched him.
Guys, I want to make a comment, too, on that series. We talked about the ball going off Jordan McDaniel. Who was the young man that made the first play on that
Yeah.
series? Was
Yeah,
McDaniel
he was
coming on the
fired up.
backside?
Yeah, he was fired up, I think, because he kind of felt like it was his fault.
And the other players, they patted him on the helmet.
Yep. Yeah, they did.
It's an unfortunate deal on it, to happen. And
Here's Wilson Key on the return.
Nifty move.
Gets outside, gets across the 20. I'll tell you, Key's done a good job on the punt returns tonight, guys.
Yeah, he's sure-handed. You know, him and we used him when they were in the 9th grade. We used him and Peyton both back there, and so it was a luxury to have them, both of them. Because both of them were sure-handed, and
well, if you're a Key for Southside, both teams have 3 timeouts. You've got 6:24 to go here. You just want to kind of play some field position if you can, move the ball down. Obviously, you'd like to get a score if you could.
You got to burn some clock.
Run
here.
clock. Yes, sir. Make them use those timeouts.
That was interesting. I'm watching the back judge. He's waving to start. I guess he's starting the play clock.
Yeah.
Here's a keeper by Forsgren. Makes a nice run for a first down.
He's been making the right read all night long. I'm glad to see him actually break that thing for about 9.
Some of them are not. Some are not reads. Some of them are designed.
Yeah, called play. Yeah, called
play. If you see a lineman pull, they're probably it's a call play. They call them things a little different nowadays than when we used to call it when they first put this offense in.
Well, because they got a little touch of the RPO too, don't they?
Yes. But they're not actually running the true RPOs on this.
I don't think they'd be running RPO at 5:35 to go anyway. Don't really need to.
You know, the thing I'm kind of wondering about, though, I noticed on the play clock, they actually snapped the ball. There was well over 20 seconds on the clock.
I don't think they realized it started late.
Of course, I'm kind of wondering, too, though, Doug, and you could explain this. I mean, a lot of times if you do start trying to run that clock down, you kind of get out of a rhythm.
Yeah, you do. Basically, you have what you call a 4-minute offense, and that's when you run the clock. You wait till, at 6 minutes, you still kind of need to run your offense and not.
Here's a handoff to Jaden Webb, and he's
sideways again.
On the carry, Calderero on the stop.
Get a couple of yards. We haven't called Calderero's name much here in the second half.
In the second half, we hadn't.
Big third down here for the Mavs. You're about 3 first downs, I'd say, guys, from winning this.
Yeah.
This play's huge for them to, if they can.
Convert right here.
Got the clock run down. Big third down here for the Mavs. Third down, 3rd and 8. They'll have Fox in the backfield. And I'll throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete off the receiver's hands. That was Wilson Key, the intended receiver.
That's 2 that he's dropped.
Abram Dodson in coverage, 4th down.
Now, that was a tough catch.
Yeah, it was a little bit behind him.
Low.
Number 15, Jaden Webb in punting position for Southside. Number 1, Cam Massey back deep to receive for the Grizzlies.
A big opportunity for Southside maybe to kind of switch the field here. You don't want Massey to get a chance to run this back. It's Jaden Webb back in the punt. Here's the punt. It's a low line drive punt that's going to take a bounce right to Massey. He's going to run it, and he's going to get outside, and
that's a blind. That is a blind
yes, sir.
side block.
Head to head, too, man.
Got a flag on the play.
Yeah, they saw it from over there. That was a blind side block.
The sad part, didn't really help him much either.
Guys, I'm going to go back, too. I think another big play in this game, Webb had to go out for a little bit, and De La Souza had to come in and punt. He punts that ball down to the 1-yard line. Yeah, how big was that?
That's pretty good. Because that's when they tried to throw the 50-50 ball to Massey, and we intercepted it. That's Dwight Johnson. He's saying.
Yeah, at least it's not his head. He's kind of grabbing at his stomach.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's good to see him jump up.
That's huge.
Northside will start this drive from their 23-yard line.
After the penalty, be 1st and 10. Grizzlies, ball spot at their own 23-yard line.
Be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Again, they'll have Darian Bowers at quarterback. Looks like young blood in the backfield. Bowers wants to throw, although the ball's going to one hop the receiver.
That's where I would go, because they bring in a new cornerback, and I'd go right at him, and that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think, to your point earlier, Doug, I think that
Derek Lacey, Derek was in there earlier, and I said, and then he on Massey's run, he kind of didn't make the tackle, and so then they put Lee in. Got to look at that cushion he's giving them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw out that way again. It's going to be complete. Boy, there's a nice defensive play for the Mavs. It's going to lose some yardage on the play. I believe that was Dominic Parkinson.
It was Dominic.
Yeah, good play.
Bowers pass complete to Foster. Johnson on the stop.
I'm sorry, guys, but I could have swore he hit him at about the 18-yard line. They move it back up to the 22.
Ball across the 22-yard line.
Clock running down. We've got 3:27 to go here. Big play for the Southside defense.
Don't give them too much. No. Get up. There we go. Double kill.
Ball's on the ground.
Surely that's got to be a hold.
Well, they threw the ball to a lineman.
Illegal contact.
Yeah.
Illegal
they
touching.
Illegal touching.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't realize it was a lineman. Can't see those numbers very well.
Okay, guys, this is a call right here. I've got to ask you, though, if this is a 15-yard penalty, do you take
Decline
the
it.
penalty?
Oh, if it's loss of down.
Yeah, it is loss of down.
You don't even have to decline it. Huh.
It's big. Serious. Well, I'll tell you what, this Southside defense has really stepped up time after time. I'll start the clock now, be under 3 minutes.
4th and 9, ball spot at 24.
Well, gentlemen, I say you're maybe about 2 first downs away. Here's the kick. Woo. And just let it go. It's a good job by Key just letting that go. That was a nice punt.
Rogers punt down by
That's an
number
awesome
3.
punt.
Yeah, it was.
They still got all 3 timeouts left,
Yeah.
so it's
You're going to need at least 2 first downs, I think.
You're going to, yeah.
Unless you can get 9 on first down on a run.
The only I'd have to say that when you're in a shotgun formation,
24-yard line.
a lot of times running downhill, you don't get that momentum going downhill, especially with a back like Jaden. And so there, that's where at one time they went to the pistol for they can be able to do that a little bit more. But when you're in a like that, it's going downhill. Now he'll back up a little bit and they'll read it a little bit so every now and then.
And a ball off to Jaden Webb, not much there. Going to be pulled down after maybe about a yard gain. Northside going to take a timeout here. Guys, I'd almost think this is a time where you maybe run bootleg. What do you think, guys?
Little quarterback counter.
I don't even know if they have that in their repertoire.
Well, maybe needed to add it.
Well, at one time they did, but I don't know if they don't have a lot of play action passes.
I'm not really crazy about the play action passes, just in the fact that
That's where you bootleg comes from,
because you're slowing the game down a lot of times too when you do that. So, and they're actually warming up their other quarterback now. I guess he's going to go back in the ball game.
Your favorite burger whenever you want it. Whataburger's open 24/7, just like you like it.
Well, Southside needs to get first downs and not have to worry about them getting the ball back. That's all. That's the key. Is to is try to move those chains at least.
Yeah, you definitely got to get at least one first down here because you can actually run that clock down.
Well, they'll call a timeout again, and you don't want to throw it here. You might want to throw it on third down. But
they'll bring Key in motion. Here's a keeper by Forsgren. He's got an open field. He's going to have a Southside first down.
That's big right there.
Huge.
That is huge. Guys, I love that call. I love that call. Northside going to take a timeout, so Southside should be able to force them to take that last one, and then you should be able to run that thing down under a minute.
Yeah.
And if you get a first down, you pretty much put it away.
Correct.
Well, we hadn't seen it in a while. Wouldn't be nice if we get to that third down again, hit that little screen.
Hey guys, I got to say this too about Southside. If they're able to win this ball game tonight, you've got a week off next week. How much will you enjoy that week off?
I love it.
After beating your crosstown rivalries.
I was going to say, you got 2 weeks to brag.
Right.
Where you even have to worry about football again.
And I think Northside plays Greenwood next week.
They what?
I think Northside plays Greenwood next week.
Oh, that'll be fun. And I think they go to Coweta after that.
Yeah.
Northside jumped off sides. There's 5 more yards. I believe that was Antoine Thomas in the neutral zone. Obviously, Coach, I think you're in a running situation here. Do you ever see teams, too, and I want to bring a point up after this play, too, Coach. I want to ask you about this. There's a handoff to Webb. Not going to be much there. The ball's on the ground, and Southside's got it back. Ooh.
Webb on the carry, fumble on the play. Recovered by the Mavericks.
That was Wilson Key.
Yeah.
I don't.
They ruled him down on the play, I think. Yes.
I don't think Jaden running that way, sideways. He doesn't have the cutability or cutability. I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, he doesn't have the ability to cut, to hit it up, go east and west as the field is, and he's better just going downhill.
2-3 on the game clock. 2-2-3.
Had 4 seconds of the game clock. No, Coach, what I was going to ask you was, and I've seen this over the years, is you never see teams hardly anymore. It's always a pistol formation. You don't see kids take the snap under center. I go back to the Tyler Wilsons and the Brandon Allens. They would try to put them under center, and they couldn't take the snap. What is it?
Well, it's just, I like the gun. I like the pistol.
Which do you like better, gun or pistol?
Gun. But I use both. We use both. There's advantage to, when you get a kid to go downhill and you can run a lot of your play action passes or your boots out of the pistol better. But here's the one thing that these kids, what a lot of people on the no huddle stuff.
There's Forsgren running the ball, going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
On this no huddle stuff, the best thing about it is how many times, you huddle up, and when you go to the line of scrimmage, how many times do you watch them linemen to walk up to the line of scrimmage? That means they got to run that much more in space. And the coach was telling me, well, this way they don't have to, they eliminate a few more steps throughout the game, and it made sense. And plus you get mad at your lineman for walking up to the line of scrimmage. So
I think Southside may take a timeout here. Let's see if they want to run the play.
yeah,
Good call, Keith.
Let's see. You run this play, get it down to about 1:30, run another 40 seconds off the clock, put it down to what, about 40 seconds?
50.
And then don't kick the ball to number 1.
Right. You almost kick it out of bounds right here if you get a few more yards.
You know, you'd be tempted to pass the ball here just to get the first down, but
Well, go to 4. I mean, that's
I
when
saw,
you're
I saw a play last night where they had a fullback and they ran kind of a outside zone play, and the quarterback went with the back, and the fullback acted like he was going to hit the defensive end and slid out in the flat. It was on a 4th and 4 play. There wasn't nobody around him. And quarterback pulled it up and just
almost like the old wide banana out of shotgun.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I always like to do out of pistol, send that guy over there to kind of block that defensive end and then just turn around and look.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll get Southside for jumping off sides, I believe.
Tricked ourselves, I think, that time.
I know coaches have seen enough here in the second half, though, guys.
Yeah.
Things are going to have to clean up here but that's okay. I mean, it's first ball game. You're going to have mistakes and stuff.
Well, and you hinted on it before. That's kind of our advantage because we got 2 weeks to work on whatever we need to work on.
Northside going to bring the heat here. It's going to be a keeper by Forsgren, and he's going to be hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Malachi Warren on the stop.
131.
Yeah, Southside should be able to run that down about 50 seconds. About a 7-second difference. You got to figure Coach probably going to take a timeout again, and I think they may just kind of.
They're going to run it down to 1 second, call timeout. They ran 2 seconds off that, you know.
Hey, that's a home team. That's too bad.
No. There's your buddy.
And now they're putting 53 on the clock.
Oh, they added 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Maybe that was the ploy of the whole thing to do that, guys. What do you think?
I'm thinking so. A little home cooking.
Well, gentlemen, what you got to do here, obviously, is don't just tackle. And I'll tell you what, your 3-down linemen have done a good job putting pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to I'd probably stay with that and not really come with any type of a blitz package, at least right off. So
you're going to have to block. You're going to have to make sure you stay in and block. And I
4th and 10, well spotted.
cringe about by kicking the ball to Cam because his ability to make people miss. And I'll tell you anything about Cam. He's a lot, he's a small frame guy, but, he weighs, 165, 70 pounds, but he is strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just kick it.
I'm telling you.
Kick it out of bounds.
Kick it to the sideline, hope it goes out of bounds.
Right.
Oh. Got him, though.
good job by Southside.
That's called kicking to your coverage right there. That was just about perfect.
About blocked it, though.
Yeah, they did.
And the thing of that, it was a bad
snap. Yeah.
Hey guys, that's another thing too I've noticed tonight, and Southside Center's done a great job of getting that ball back 2-4. And we've seen games where you get that little bit of a high snap, it just throws off the whole play.
I think that's been Eckelhoff.
Eckelhoff's
done a great job tonight.
Done a good job.
I think he came in a couple times last year and played pretty dadgum well when they needed him just for a few snaps at a time.
I think that was his brother.
Oh, it may have been.
That was his brother last year. His brother was a senior last year. Yeah, they got Drew Jackson back in the ball game.
Ball's on the ground. That'll help.
Yeah, they're going to have trouble getting the play off. It should be under 30 seconds when they get this one off. Down to 30 seconds on the clock. Get it off here and pass complete, run him out of bounds.
Jackson's pass complete.
He throws a good ball.
Yeah, he does.
It's kind of got thrown to the Wolves early here, though.
Yeah.
21 seconds to go here in the ball game. You know, the thing, too, guys, they've got to get the first down, too.
Yes.
So Southside going to play a prevent defense.
You don't need to go for an interception. I know he went while on that. Yeah.
Jackson's pass incomplete.
Try to get the ball to Massey. There's Kincannon over there. 15 seconds to go. He's got a good arm. You guys are right. That was a nice pass.
Yeah.
What are they going to do, Coach? Same thing?
Guys, right now they got to get the first down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I bet they try to get that thing back to number one right here.
The thing about getting the first down, if you throw it over the middle, you're
in trouble.
You're in trouble. So
Southside going to throw it out, and it's going to be complete. He didn't get the favor. He
ran backwards.
Yeah, he ran backwards. That's Southside ball.
That's it. 2 to lose.
It's ball game.
Yep.
he didn't know where he was at.
No.
Good call by
He came back. Yeah, he had the first down.
If he would have caught it and sat down, it'd have been a first down.
We'll go on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 Mavericks.
Doug, I got to ask you this question, too. You've been to a lot of Northside, Southside game. How impressive of a victory is this going to be for the Mavs?
This is awesome for the Southside.
He is excited.
Because one is that this senior bunch has never, I mean, now they've won, but as a group, and this being senior, they've not done very well at Northside.
Penalty, it ain't going to matter, but.
Yeah, they'll get us for a penalty.
But, they won last year, and this is 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And, Northside won 7 in a row. And then, before that, Southside won a bunch in a row. And it's
the guys to be down 21.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Start.
That is huge. And I'm just happy for Coach Dameron and Coach Key and all them over there.
And Coach Stewart, the job he's done.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, both our lines tonight were really the difference in the ball game, I think. Yeah. There's a snap. He'll take the knee, and Southside going to win the Battle of Rogers Avenue tonight.
That's awesome.
I tell you, it's going to be a sweet week up at the South tonight, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I'll just have to tell Coach Dameron the reason why he won because I was in the booth.
Yeah, we're going to have a little problem shaking hands here. I think Southside wants to celebrate a little bit. And, you can't blame them.
No.
I mean, come on, you got to do that. But what a great game tonight, too. And, really both sides of the ball for both teams. And it was a game where Southside, they went down early, guys.
Look who's the first.
Came back.
Look who's the first one in line for Southside.
Yep. Yeah, he was down on the field, man. He was,
Joseph
celebrating.
Joseph is top water. I mean, he is as good a kid as I've ever been around.
Hey, he'll go play golf with you, too.
Yeah, I know. He works out at Ben Garrett.
Yeah.
I've been out there. We tried to, Coach Dameron and I, we told him for him to get a partner, we'd challenge him.
Hey, he played a good match this last week.
Yeah, that's good.
He playing on the golf team?
Yeah, I think they were getting those senior guys out there for a little bit,
him.
just in case. But, yeah, he played a pretty good match.
Well, fellas, get back to the moment at hand here. What a great job for Southside tonight as they win this ball game 34-27. being down like they were, they actually outscored Northside the rest of the game, 34-7. And
See, that's a great job.
Yeah, all them guys are down
They're
there
all-
pumping up Massey.
Because they all played together
Yeah.
at Chaffin.
Yeah,
So
and in Little League too.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys played together at the boys' club.
a lot of fun, though, guys. Give credit to both lines of scrimmage. Did a great job. Ethan Dunn, I thought, man, he was a man among boys out there today. And give credit to Northside, too. Cam Massey, 2 big touchdowns. Wilson Key did a great job in the punt return game. Big touchdowns for Southside. I believe he had 3 touchdowns tonight. Had a big ball game. And they actually did this, too, when you think about this, without Peyton Zimmerman.
Yeah, for the second half, for sure.
That's what they're saying. We've had Mark Hudson over here, and he keeps winning the old Northside guy, so that's a good thing. But it's been a lot of fun tonight, guys, and I've enjoyed having y'all up here. And you can't ask for a better game than what we got to see tonight with the comeback Southside had. And I appreciate the words you guys are putting out there. You describe the game, describe what's going on, and I can see things a lot better now with you guys up here. Final thoughts on tonight's ball game.
Oh, I just give a lot of props to that defense, man. I really I saw some things that kind of question marks coming into the season. How are we going to replace some of those guys that are gone? And I hate to say it, but I think we're going to replace them just fine. It looked really good. I was really impressed with how we kind of just handled their run game. I thought their run game was really going to tear us up. And we were going to have to be battling from behind. But the only reason we're battling from behind was some mistakes early. So, I think we're going to clean that up in the next 2 weeks, and we'll be in business.
Well, I think Southside, this proves to them that they can win a big game, and particularly felt like that they had a chance against Northside. I talked to Coach Key a couple of days ago, and he was he thought that that they could move the ball against their defense. He just worries about, being able to stop anybody, particularly when you don't have the overall team speed as Northside has. But those kids, gosh, they played hard. Oh,
props to those offensive linemen, man. Gosh, they played hard all night.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it was a fun night tonight. And, again, Southside will have the week off to enjoy this and kind of work on some things. You think about the ball game tonight. I think we had 3 turnovers tonight.
Yep.
And overcame those turnovers, one of them being a touchdown. So, credit that defense too. But once they kind of settled in, and I think you guys alluded to this point, was they really kind of eliminated that big play. Northside didn't have those really big plays.
They had one
at the starting out in the ball game, but after that, Southside really forced them to have to try to move down the field, and did a great job. The D-line played well. The O-line, I thought Tad Stewart's group had a really good ball game tonight. And again, Southside wins this ball game tonight 34-27. Mavs will be back in action here in 2 weeks as Little Rock Central will come to Jim Rowland Stadium here in 2 weeks. And I just think the Mavs are going to enjoy this Labor Day weekend after getting this big victory. And congratulations to the coaching staff and the players. And we'll see everybody here in 2 weeks. Everybody have a great weekend.
Mr. Piper.
Go Mavs.
Thank you.